Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Babylon Night as usual, I guess. I'm here today with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hit 40 followers. Hello, Sethy. Good evening. Here as always. Hello. This is the 40 follower tier list stream that I promised. My boyfriend is here with me, just setting up some technical stuff.
Yeah, please let us know how everything sounds.
Yeah, it's the first time doing something like this on this channel. So this is like a weird little idea that I kind of brought to Jim.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do a tier list, because over on our other channel, we sometimes do silly fate tier lists based on really, like, stupid criteria. And these are all up on our YouTube channel. Surfing D&D. Yeah, hey, Amorphous. Yeah. So I sort of brought this idea to Jim, because Jim likes to play and run D&D games, and I was just sort of thinking, one early morning while waiting for a train.
Yeah.
What if Jim had to run D&D, but I had all my servants summoned, like, in real life?
I'd be very scared.
Yeah, I think that would be very scary. So we've decided to make an alignment compass. It can also be a tier list.
Yeah.
I put out on my Twitter a link, so if you want to follow at home,
yeah,
and make your own tier list.
So something I'm abundantly aware of right now is the lack of us defining the edges.
So these are what these are going to be.
So this should be wood play. Yeah.
This is wood play.
That would be wooden play. Yeah. Yeah. And then we're going to be would not be fun to play with. Maybe just would not be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't make it too long.
Yeah.
And would be fun.
Yeah. And would be fun.
Yes.
So it's like I know Fate, Jim knows D&D.
Yeah.
But we just thought this would be a funny idea. I don't like character tier lists that are just like, who's the best servant? And it's like, is Artoria going to be an S tier? Oh, let me guess. Sort of thing.
It's like the Smash Up Pass. It's fun.
Yeah.
But this is something a bit different. So, we'll start.
And if anybody in chat has any ideas about specific servants that I have, we're making this easier by just using the ones that I have summoned, because then that's less characters that Jim doesn't know. Essentially.
True. And also we won't be here all day, maybe.
Yeah.
So that first character then.
Okay. Do you want to do these in alphabetical order, or do you want to just go with...
It probably would be... I mean, if you want to, like, pick some out sometimes...
Yeah, like, if there's anybody specifically you'd want to think about. I mean, why don't we start with characters that you know?
Okay, how about we start with, like, Artoria, or a version of Artoria?
I have 3 Artorias. These are all in, like, alphabetical and class order, because that's what I named the files.
Okay. Should we start with regular Saber?
Yeah, let's start with Saber.
Pretty good base to start with.
She's
so
based
put her in the middle.
Franchise. Put her in the middle, yeah.
Okay.
So, see, one thing that I think would be interesting about Servant D&D is you have to bear in mind that, like, some of these characters are, like, well, the myth that they're based on is, like, the archetype for certain things in D&D, it would seem. Like, is King Arthur not the iconic human fighter? Sort of
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
She's also definitely got an influence on, like, paladins as a D&D concept. But also kind of, like, a little bit of an influence on, like, the kind of fairy tale knight kind of character, you know, the connection with, like, this fae world stuff, you know, Avalon. Definitely influence on magic swords.
Yeah.
Do I think she would play? I think she would. So definitely, I think she'd be, like, above halfway. Not all the way up there, not like, yes, I would definitely play.
I was going to say, in the novel, she seems down for trying modern things.
Yeah.
Like, we see her try batting cage.
Yeah. I actually think she'd be a bit higher, like, a little bit. Like, not, like, just,
If Shiro asked her, she'd say yes.
Yeah, exactly right.
I don't have Shiro, but like, yeah, I mean, like,
it'd be interesting to. We'll get to.
Yeah,
we don't actually have Shiro, do we?
I don't. Shiro's not a servant. I have Emiya,
Yeah.
and hopefully New Year I will have Muramasa.
I think hypothetically Shiro would probably play.
Yeah, Shiro would
And
absolutely
would
play.
be okay to play with.
Yeah, but would Artori be fun? But also, what do you? It's one of those where I feel like she'd probably want to play what she knows,
Yes.
if that makes sense. Like, she might be like, I'm gonna be the human paladin or the human knight.
Yes. Which, to be honest, that's actually a minor gripe I might have with her. Is like, I'm imagining playing multiple times and she always plays the same character.
Shiro was Emiya, exactly. I have.
Shiro is kind of Emiya. They're a little bit different.
Yeah, maybe we can talk about
older.
Emiya like after.
Yeah, we'll talk about Emiya in a minute. Yeah, he's just there.
Yeah, he's the archer. That's why he's at the top.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think she would be mildly fun to play with.
Okay, so would that be like there?
I think you go a bit further than that. Like, yeah, around there. She'd be not like the best player ever to play with. I'm imagining, but she's definitely not like that guy.
Yeah, I feel like Artoria might be inclined to try and like deal with situations that come up in the game the way that she would try and deal with this if it came up in life.
Yes.
Which might not always be the best thing. It's like we are playing a fantasy game.
Yes. I think it's sometimes. Although then again, when you think about it, you know, she got magic sword from Lady in the Lake. In some ways, she might really get the vibe of D&D.
Yeah.
Because her life is not that far away.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, so I'm like.
There you go. So yeah, I think she'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I said, not the. Maybe I even want to give her a few bonus points because of that. So maybe
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Okay.
We might move people around a little bit afterwards.
Yeah, when we have more on the board, because I guess because. Do we want to do Emiya next? Because we just mentioned him.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a bit of an interesting with Emiya is like we know he's kind of grumpy dude.
Yeah.
There's also Shiro, but then in this recent summer event, we do see him being more like a fun big brother, a bit more like Shiro.
Yeah, that's the thing is that.
And so I'm like, Shiro as Emiya, it's like.
Should we consider him a bit like, you know, post Stay Night? Because at least in one of the endings, he kind of gets over the whole. He
Probably is
you know?
post Stay Night, yeah.
So, I mean, with that in mind...
I mean, like, he'd definitely make food for everybody.
He'd maybe be a little bit less grumpy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd... I almost want to put him kind of in the middle of would play, wouldn't play. I think he's kind of like... He maybe would play if the right people were playing and he, you know, if people wanted him to play, you know. I don't think he'd have that much of an interest.
Yeah, I think that, like, he might not play at D&D night, but he would probably make you the food.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And that'd probably be pretty damn good.
You're just sort of playing D&D, and every so often he comes in with, like, a big plate of, like, chicken balls or something that he's made.
Yes. Now, with having said whether he would play or not, I think he'd be quite fun to play with.
Okay.
Potentially. Because think of, like, Shiro, but with way more life experience.
Okay.
I think he's probably potentially more fun to play with than Saint.
Okay, so this is one of those where I feel like in D&D, you can be that idealized hero.
Yes.
In a scenario where, like, oh, I'm playing a fantasy game, I can make it work.
He can. This is the thing: is he can actually live out the sort of fantasy of being the hero for justice who does succeed, and there isn't sort of a harsh reality to face necessarily. I think there's
lawful good.
There's that element, and also I just think that he might kind of bring a kind of fun grit to the game sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of potential there, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go down this thread of, like, the Stay Night guys first, or do we want to...
No, I think I'd like to try and mix it up.
Okay.
Maybe occasionally just pull from whatever is the...
Yeah, if somebody gets mentioned, then we'll, like, break order to talk about them, I guess, so...
Yeah, I mean, maybe just occasionally just pull straight from the top, like, who's this on...
So this is Attila the Hun, Santa
Oh, really?
edition.
Wait. Does the being Santa edition I mean, does it change her personality?
I don't know much about regular Altera, but she rides on a sheep. This is a picture of her. I'm getting my phone up to show Jim the characters he doesn't recognize.
Is she gonna show up dressed like this?
Yeah, she's Santa Altera. She's always dressed in her Santa bikini with a fake mustache on her big sheep.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say she's definitely fun to play with.
Yeah, I can see her being very fun to play with.
Okay, I mean, I'm kind of joking because underwear.
I don't know, she is Santa.
Wouldn't she? But she's Attila the Hun, right? So wouldn't she be like one hell of a like murder hobo? That's
the thing. I don't think Santa Altera the Hun would be.
I'm really unclear on
sure.
why she's Santa, but is she
they literally just for Christmas take random popular servant and make them a Santa Claus. Salter is a Santa Claus.
Okay, wait. So this is Attila the Hun. First got turned into a woman, but was basically still Attila.
Oh no, Attila Hun's always been a woman in Fate. It's kind of weird. She's a woman and she comes from space. There's some weird fucking Fate extra lore that I don't understand. She's from that Fate Extella game that I tried to play.
Okay, I'm going to go back to what I was saying. So Attila the Hun has been made into a woman, but is otherwise still Attila the Hun.
Yes.
But has now been given the responsibility of being Santa.
Yes.
And has taken that on willingly. So, this is basically Attila the Hun doing their best to be Santa, playing a game of D&D.
Yes.
Would that be fun to play with? Yes. The answer is yes.
More or less fun than Emmy or Artoria.
It's a very specific kind of theme and vibe. I would say more than Artoria, but less than
Emmy. Okay.
I think, theoretically. I think it probably has less substance than Emmy.
I feel like maybe...
would play.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel that, like,
Max.
she's the Santa Claus Altera. So I feel that, yeah, if this was like...
She doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's a fun game with everybody, and she's like, I'll play this game with everybody, and I'll bring joy to everybody in the D&D world or something.
You meet Santa, and you go, will you play this game with me? In no world does Santa say no.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my thought.
Oh, okay. So with the same logic, does Florence Nightingale also play? This is Santa Florence Nightingale.
So weird. This is so weird.
I feel like she would only play if kids were involved.
The Santa thing is so weird.
Yeah, it's going to be Kana this year, which I'm excited for, because he's the hero of charity, and it's like, he should have been Santa from the beginning.
Okay,
guys.
I think all the Santa ones default to would play.
Yeah. Oh, she
or
might.
I. They're probably, unless there's like some specific reason why
I'm trying to think.
This specific one wouldn't.
I'm trying to think. She is Florence Nightingale. She's very obsessed with medicine and healing, so she'd definitely play the party healer.
See that?
Is what comes to mind. Like, she'd probably be like, I'm the heal-only cleric.
Couldn't she... Something that comes to mind is, couldn't she be like... Florence Nightingale was, you know... Yeah, well, I was thinking she's like religious, but, well, I was thinking, could she be kind of, I don't know, preachy? I don't know if that...
She'd be a necromancer. She'd heal you by killing you. Yes. She'd just have like all of the heal potions and shoot them out of that gun at the party.
Oh,
nobody's died in combat.
Oh, that's like a thing that kind of happened with alchemists in like 3rd edition.
Yeah.
They'd throw a potion at you. The potion would, the smashing of glass on you would do damage, but then you'd heal. It was the most weird mechanic.
My question is, how fun would she be?
That's what I'm trying to get. Like, as a character, is she kind of...
I'm trying to think. She's kind of like a Mary Poppins metaphor.
Oh.
Well, like she's got the umbrella. She's like a Santa Claus Mary Poppins ripoff.
I'm almost inclined to... Okay. I'm almost inclined to put her up a little bit on the wood play, but leave her kind of in the middle. Because...
Yeah.
I think it sounds like she could be very fun to play with,
Yeah.
but could also end up not being. I'm not sure. Like, is she going to be the kind of person to kind of tell everybody else in the party what's right and wrong?
I feel like it might get a little bit annoying with her pointing out like that this thing in this world is unsanitary. And doing that would be a great risk to your health, sort of thing.
That could be. I don't know. That could just be kind of fun roleplay.
Yeah, but I feel like her obsession with like cleanliness and healing could get annoying. But then her just constantly wanting to heal you all would be great.
I don't know, Holly. I think what you're describing doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah.
I'd be inclined to put her over.
Put her into like woodplay, yeah.
But over would be fun. Probably just behind Artoria.
Behind Artoria, okay.
A little bit less than that. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, and maybe down a bit. I think she's not. I don't know, the woodplay bit. Was she even more likely? No, probably less likely than Artoria.
Yeah, I think I'd put her maybe there.
Yeah.
No, you could maybe if you were running D&D close to Christmas, and you said to the Santas like, "We're going to play a fun game together,"
So
they might want to join in. Okay.
We have a non-Santa, please.
Yeah, I only have 2 Santas. Okay, so we've got a few in like the woodplay would be fun. Shall we try and think of ones who would immediately fit into the different categories so that we can start getting...
I see an assassin.
Witch assassin.
With a mask.
Witch assassin with a mask.
Right, the one you just had your thing on.
Hassan, because Phantom of the Opera is also an assassin with a mask on.
Okay.
So I was like,
about Hassan.
And that's also another Hassan, and there's 3 Hassans in a row.
Okay,
They're all
is that
assassins.
long arm Hassan?
Right, this is Kirstorm.
Okay.
I think Kirstorm wouldn't want to play, and I don't think he'd be fun.
I don't know if he'd want to play. I'm just thinking about it. I mean...
So what I'm thinking is like, okay, so we do see him pop up in the Camelot part of FGO's story.
I'm also not...
And he's a bit of a nicer character than he is in the original novel. But I'm like, I couldn't see any of the Hassans wanting to play a game like this.
What was his wish instead?
I think instead he wanted to be the Hassan.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Serenity would she? Serenity would because you were playing, because like her master was playing, I guess.
I don't. Yeah, I think Hassan probably would not be fun to
Yeah,
play with.
Personas would send a version. I feel like maybe there is some. There probably is one of the 100 Personas who would want to play a fantasy dice game. But I think we've got to stat them as like just the main one.
I think Hassan is not like 100% wouldn't play, but I think he's unlikely to play. So probably around there. I think he's probably not very fun. Probably around there.
Yeah, I think
he's probably...
He'd murder Hobo, wouldn't he?
Maybe he would, but not in the normal way.
Yeah.
He wouldn't derp murder hobo.
Kill everybody.
Murder hobo, like the real dumb murder hobo, is when you just kill people without thinking about it and like you get yourself killed.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that. He will very carefully and situationally murder people while getting away with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, that kind of character, it can work, but, I can see him just pissing off the party.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that kind of like, oh, you've taken out the big enemy before we even got to, like, properly talk to them. That kind of does annoy people.
Yeah, I think more I'm concerned that he just offs, important NPCs.
Yeah.
Oh, I just killed the king.
Yeah, it's just like, guys, we needed to, like, talk to the king because he was going to send us on this quest.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
we now can't do.
We now can't do, and we are on the run.
Yeah.
And that is your fault. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I can imagine Hassan doing.
Okay, you know what? Because we're on the subject of Hassans, I feel like 100 Personas...
It's strange.
Yeah, because what I agree with what you're saying, Sethy, is like, there is probably one of them 100 Personas that would.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll put her like...
Sweet. In fact, she almost certainly would, so it's probably higher.
I'll put her on the line, because I don't think like she would.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like we don't get much.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of her, which is why
it's a bit hard to
checking
vibe.
what her actual name is. I forget what it is.
The point would be, would they? The thing about whether or not they'd be fun, I think you may be thinking a little bit too much on the vibe of them being an assassin, and I'm kind of actually thinking. You think about them and the person they were working with, they very much were willing to work as like a team and stuff. You know, very much willing to almost, or quite often sacrifice themselves.
Yeah.
Were willing to work with others, etc. So it might be that, this character is somewhat evil, but it might actually be an okay person to play with.
So I'll put her up there. See, I want to keep her on the line just because it's like she probably wouldn't, but she'd send somebody too.
I'd actually maybe put them still in the side of would not be fun, but like just to the right of the line. I think that so a little bit further left. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like just to the right of it, like around.
Yeah. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we don't almost know enough.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Serenity, I think, like what you're saying, Zethy, is Serenity probably would play, which I can agree with, because she really loves the Master.
Right.
Because you're the only person she can touch without, like, you dying.
I think this is the first character that I really don't know a lot about.
But I think that Serenity wouldn't be fun because she'd just try to ERP with you. She'd make everybody uncomfortable.
So she's one hell of a...
So she's like the female... I think she'd be like the female that guy that... You know the whole magical realm idea where somebody is just bringing their sexuality and their sexual fantasies into the game.
So she goes
and it's making everybody uncomfortable. It's like she tries to seduce every, like, potential enemy and flirt with the DM all the time.
Should we put her, like, in the situation, would play, assuming X person's playing.
Yeah.
Kind of over there. But would not be fun to play with.
Yeah. I'm gonna quickly grab myself another drink.
I suppose I'm like working off the assumption that nobody wants the ERP to happen. But I like there. It's pretty reasonable to assume that nobody wants ERP to happen. Holly, could you bring me the Pride, please? Yes, I need the entirety of Pride. I'm going to drink it. I have a drink that's called Pride. There is a lot of these to go through. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I also feel like the Hassans would all play rogues.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
This is the thing, unless they have, like, a fantasy to be someone that isn't like themselves.
Yeah. Because there are some servants where I feel like they play something that they aren't, and there are quite a few where I feel like maybe... You know the idea of the, like, new D&D player? They've not made a character before.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sventy would give into the peer pressure.
You think Hassan
like,
probably
so it's like, you know the idea
so
of
embedded in their own personality?
But like, you know the idea of the new D&D player? They're new to making characters, so they play what they know and base it off a character from something that they're familiar with.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these guys would do that, but base it on literally themselves.
Yeah, I can see
because,
that.
You know, how many of these people are fantasy heroes?
Yeah, sure.
Something. It's like, for some of these guys, it's like, you know, Assassin is a character you can play, so I feel like maybe the Hassans would be like...
Certain characters we know would like to be something different to themselves, like pretty explicitly.
There are some I can think of.
I think actually Hassan, like Cursed Arm, we definitely would play a rogue because he'd like to be basically a version of himself but better. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that will work. So we get a would be fun and would not play but would be fun to play with. So is there anything we can explicitly think of who, like, you know, wouldn't play D&D?
I'm not sure, Holly. Off the top of my head.
Of the ones that, like, I think of the characters from Fate you're familiar with.
I can think of characters that wouldn't play. I'm struggling to think of characters that wouldn't play and would be fun.
Yeah, so it's like, For this box, it's
Actually-
like, they wouldn't play D&D, but if they did, they'd be very fun to play with.
Actually, I can think of...
Gilgamesh. I don't think Gilgamesh would be fun.
No.
I don't think that playing D&D, who thinks you're a stupid mongrel and this game is for stupid mongrels, would be fun to play with.
Yeah, I know.
I think Gil is there.
Gil is... Yeah, he would not be fun.
He'd look at it and be like, this...
I think he goes lower.
Yeah.
Assad. He's
Gil
like-
is like, this is beneath me.
Yeah. He might bring some interesting things to the table in theory.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some knowledge and, I don't know, maybe some special dice from
It's
his
just like,
collection.
oh yeah, he throws that original D20 on the table and dares you to roll it.
But otherwise, he'd just be an arrogant prick the whole
Yeah.
time. No, I was thinking...
moving down to pick up the other Gil.
I was thinking Coop.
Well.
I think...
But I'm gonna
okay,
put
he'd be
him-
better.
I'm putting him there because I still think he'd go, this is a game for mongrels, I'm not interested.
Yeah, but I still think he'd be better.
Gil, that's the thing, you know, collecting treasure and fighting giant monsters is what he
Okay,
did in real
okay.
life. He isn't going to want to roleplay that. Okay, so Q would...
It's Koo, right? I don't think Koo would play. I don't think he'd really want to play much.
Okay.
I think he's like... Not that he'd be like, no, fuck it. I think more he'd play a little bit and then be like, this isn't really for me.
Q would die, yeah. Q has that E rank look. This is one thing we were discussing.
Yes.
It's like Q would just roll nat one
However-
for everything and like probably just lose interest very quick because of that.
I almost want to put him like there.
Yeah.
I think he would be very fun. But he'd lose interest quickly as he rolls natural ones 3 times in a row for the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, it's like
You know?
Q, roll your stats, they're all low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, we're doing point buy today. You know what else? I'd be like, okay, Koo, let me help you. You're gonna play a halfling, and you're gonna go be a wizard, and you're gonna be a divination wizard. Because of that, and you're gonna take the lucky feat. So that he basically has like 5 re-rolls he could use all the time.
The highest thing he rolls is a 4.
Try and combat the thing at the back.
E rank luck. You mean caster Q? Yes.
Hmm.
Play a caster version of himself that's a halfling so he gets the luck bonus.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, I guess, sort of ideas of where certain characters would go.
Okay, I gotta ask.
Yeah?
Let's go for this character here.
Which
With the
one?
triangle there.
So that triangle thing on his head, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's what the Japanese put on dead people.
Oh.
It's because this is Arash. His noble phantasm kills him.
What?
So his noble phantasm,
That sounds pretty bad.
you can fire it once and he'll die unless you put a gut CE on him, and then he won't die. But JP and nerfing Arash so that even the guts doesn't work anymore.
Wow.
Who did beat Lance Medusa Salter and Emia in
Yeah,
well,
I feel like...
that's Castaku.
Wait, what?
That's Castaku in the Fate Grand Order story. I think Arash would.
It's Day Night, he wrecked a bunch of people too, but... it's not
I feel like Arash is a bro.
Okay.
So
He's
I
dead?
feel like
He's undead?
no, he's alive until he uses Stella.
Okay.
The reason he's dead
Is he a ghost?
the reason he's a ghost in the image is a joke because Stella.
Okay.
He Stella'd himself.
I see.
And then you resummon him afterwards. It's sort of the in-law idea.
Is he...
Right, guys, would Arash be fun to play D&D with?
You said he's a bro, so
I
basically,
feel like
kinda.
Arash is just a cool bro. He helps you a lot. Like he helps you a lot in the story.
Okay, but would he play?
This is what I'm thinking. That's the thing. It's like I feel like he would because he's like such a bro. Is what I'm thinking.
He just...
Sacrifice himself. Yeah, maybe like maybe he would sacrifice himself to kill the Tarask.
No, the best kind of player. It's like, you escape! I'll fight them!
Where
Yes.
does that player go?
That's like... That's beyond Emia.
Beyond
But
Emia.
maybe not quite as fun as Koo. I think Koo would be just so fucking...
Yeah, so maybe there for Arash?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but would play, I guess. I think actually, if this guy sounds like he doesn't care if he dies. So that's
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
very high wood play. I'd actually maybe put him higher than Artoria, maybe.
Yeah, so like Arash, like he sacrifices himself so that you guys kill like the big bad evil guy,
Yeah.
and then he comes back with a newly rolled character that's
still
just the
fucking-
same guy again.
I'm still putting him as like not as fun to play with as Ku, but still,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe around there. From what I know of him, from what you're describing, he sounds like a great player.
Arash is one of those characters where he's the one star who's a 5-star in our hearts. Which is the meme. Okay, so this is King Arthur at the beach.
I mean, this
I'm
is
kind of
weird.
putting them on the line at first.
Isn't this character more or less just Artoria again?
Artoria, but more fun.
Okay.
Because,
Is she more fun-loving?
yeah, she has a water gun. She likes to have Super Soaker fight.
I'll be like, Artoria, you can't be dressed in a bikini and have a water gun at the table. We're playing D&D. There are paper sheets here on the table. I take issue with this.
You have to make her take away the water gun.
Yes.
Is there a race in D&D that's like a merfolk or something? Yeah.
Triton.
Okay, I feel like
And
maybe.
also like the elves.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I feel like she'd want
there's
to play a
things.
character with like water.
So we say she's more likely to play because she's fun-loving and
Yeah, I
probably
think-
a little bit more fun.
Yeah, I think she's the more fun Artoria to play things with.
Sure. I can remember. I see that there is Atalante.
Yep, Atalante. I think that she wouldn't play.
Okay.
Because I think she likes outdoor stuff too much. I think Atlante would only play if there were like kids playing, because she likes to look after the kids. Like if you were running a game, she'd play to entertain the kids. Yeah, I think that if you were playing and there was like Nursery Rhyme, which is one of the kids that I have, Kid Gil maybe, and she'd play a character that's like I'll protect the kid characters, but I'll be a fun thing that the kids will like.
Let me give you a situational. Situationally, we're playing a game that's like, I feel like maybe D&D isn't the one. Maybe if it was a different game where there's no like actual death or violence, but it's about
or it's like nerfed kid D&D that some local game shops will run.
yeah, maybe she'd be more likely playing that kind of context. But I was also thinking if she were playing D&D, she played Munchkin. She would play Rook. I could see that.
Yeah, Munchkin's a game that she'd probably play.
Although, I don't know, does she like to fuck over all her friends just before, in order to win?
No, but it feels like
Maybe not. Actually.
yeah. I'm just starting to think like what it feels like. Yeah, I think the closest to kids D&D I've ever actually played is a game called Animal Adventures, which is cats and catacombs and dogs and I think it's called Dungeons and Doggies and Cats and Catacombs, which is. Even I played it as an adult with a bunch of my adult friends at my local gaming shop, and that was still hilariously fun. So I feel like maybe she'd play something that like the kids are playing.
I was thinking, like, would she probably would like rescuing kids in D&D.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, maybe she'd be quite distressed by kids being in peril.
Distress, yeah,
in
exactly.
D&D. So, yeah, maybe she'd be a bit lower.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how fun would she be to play with theoretically? I mean, I think maybe mildly.
Mildly fun, yeah.
It's like there. She probably doesn't really seem like she'd be that guy. She could be the kind of person to get, like I said, distressed by like certain things, like kids being in distress. You know?
Yeah, she might like overact to like be fun as long as there are no boars.
I haven't seen that many balls in D&D, to be fair.
Yeah. I'm not surprised though. Boars are nasty. Like IRL. So it's like, why are you using wolves as an encounter?
There are dire boars.
Yeah.
But I rarely see them used when I think about it. I should pull out dire boars.
Yeah. I can turn it. I'm currently playing a druid in one game.
I have a really strange question.
I'm waiting for the chance to be a boar.
I have a really strange question.
Yeah.
Are there or were there boars in Ireland? It's a strange.
What do you think killed Diarmuid?
Oh shit.
In myth, boars existed in Ireland.
Note to self. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Her altar has a boar connection, yeah. And if there's a boar, she would it'd probably be the best at killing the boar. She'd probably play ranger.
could we pull out Chiron?
Chiron, he's right here.
Yeah, I see him there.
What would
so...
Chiron do?
See, Chiron to me is a very... I think he'd be fun to play with.
Yeah.
Because I think he'd maybe kind of naturally end up feeling a kind of smart, wise person kind of.
I feel
role.
like he'd want to play a supportive role.
Yes, he'd be like a kind of supportive role who says, how to put this, says things that to the party that make sense and would make people go, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Which is always a useful thing. So yeah, but maybe around there on the line.
Yeah, on the line, it's like maybe. Yeah, it's like maybe he'd find it amusing to people who are pretending to be heroes.
I wouldn't exactly say that he'd be super dedicated to playing.
Yeah.
But I'd say maybe he would play a bit. So maybe he goes
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey. I don't know. Does chat have any ideas about Chiron? I'm wondering if there's more to it than this. Because at the same time, I could see him getting really dedicated if the right storyline happened. Because I'm thinking about his interaction with Achilles. There was a serious rivalry.
Yeah.
Do you think he'd like to take a sort of teacher-like role again in D&D?
It's
or is that?
that's one of the things where it's maybe.
Is that just something he kind of naturally falls into?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is Chiron himself is a hero, but he also teaches heroes.
Yes.
So it's would you naturally in game be inclined to be a supportive character that helps people, or would you want to be more of an attacky character, be a hero himself again?
Maybe.
Centaurs are a playable race.
Yes, they are. I don't see them played very much, but
Yeah.
yes, they are. Would he play one?
Yeah, so would he play a centaur? Would he be something different?
The thing is, would he play him? Would he play himself?
Yeah.
That's really the question.
It's would he play himself, or would he be I'm going to make a character based on this person I knew, or this kind of hero that I've seen?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
He has met and trained a lot of heroes, hasn't
Yeah.
he? So that's an interesting thing to think about, isn't it? He's got a lot of inspiration there.
Okay, so do we want to continue?
Do you want to pull out a berserker?
A berserker.
I see.
The berserkers start with Asterios,
I was gonna
and
say,
they end with Lubu. Not Lubu, it's Jiangyu.
let's grab Lancelot.
Grab Zerkalot, okay. I think Zerkalot would not play and would not be fun.
Well,
Look, Zerkalot just shouts about Arthur, and everything he touches can be a weapon, so he can use that D4 to throw it through your head and kill you.
yeah.
Which I think is more likely than getting him to play a game.
I think he would be extreme in the would not play in the sense that he wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even understand the question. So,
Hey Lancelot, do you want to play this game? He's like,
I actually think, this is why she's slightly to the left. Theoretically, someone might want to ERP. No one wants to be killed.
yeah, exactly. I put Heracles there.
Is he slightly better?
I think Heracles is less likely.
If Ilya was there, if Ilya was present and was like, we're gonna play the game, and she's like, Heracles, it's your turn, throw the dice.
Just throws all the dice at the table.
Yeah,
I think the only time Heracles would play D&D is if Ilya really wanted to play D&D and there was nobody else to play with.
Yeah. Okay.
Ilya's angry baby.
So maybe just slightly better than Lancelot.
Yeah.
Theoretically. I guess also that means so he's diagonally slightly. He's no.
I'm tempted to put them very close together. I'd put all of the non-talking berserkers there.
Yeah.
If that makes
They're in,
sense.
like this corner.
Yeah, I'll put a couple more there. I think Eric Bloodaxe is similar.
Would he be more fun to play with?
I don't know, I'm like... He's a character that everyone kind of forgets exists. I think Lu Bu is also similar.
They're just gotta be... They're trying
I'm trying to fit them in so you can still see who everybody is, but they're the berserkers who just sort of shout and make noises.
Yeah. Oh, him.
The Spartacus
Okay.
would not be fun.
Okay, no, wait. I think he's more likely to be fun and more likely to play than any of the other ones, because he is coherent enough.
Yeah.
To be like to speak. No, not that far.
Yeah.
I'd be like he's diagonal from them, but
Yeah.
it's still like
So that's the thing. It's like I feel that like
he'd
like Dungeon Master. That's oppression.
Exactly right.
Exactly.
So he'd still be really bad to play with. He'd probably like here.
Yeah.
But he at least comprehends things.
So it's like Gilgamesh would be a dickhead to play with.
Yeah.
But he's not likely to kill you, and
he would at least understand
capable of understanding what's going on. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a good baseline.
Well, we grabbed some berserkers there. Oh, is that there Vlad?
It's Vlad. Yeah, I think Vlad. I don't think Vlad would play.
Yeah.
I feel like he would see this as a little children's game.
I think he's
not worthy of him as a king.
Yeah, I think
But,
he
like,
wouldn't like the prospect of playing like a level 1 character.
Like
Maybe situationally he'd be okay if he was like starting a higher level and being like a ruler of some kind.
Yeah, it's like I think he'd be less of a dick about it than Gilgamesh though.
Yeah.
So maybe I'd put him around like Castigil.
You think he's more or less fun than Castigil?
I'm not sure.
Actually, okay, wait, no, I think we should think about this, Holly. Here's a point. Castigil
Yeah.
would not play.
Yeah.
I agree, but I actually think could be fun.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
I think Castigil could be fun. So I'm wondering about Vlad. Is Vlad a similar case?
I don't. Here's the thing. It's like, okay, so Gilgamesh is the hero who fights big monsters and he collects treasure, and that's the thing that he does.
Well, it's
So I feel like
pretty of the vibe of D&D.
it's the vibe of D&D.
Yeah. But
Vlad?
He's
No.
kind of like defends his land.
Yeah,
His
he's
whole
the
shtick.
pompous king. He defends his land.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd enjoy D&D.
I think D&D is the wrong game
And
for
I think
him.
exactly that's kind of what I think. I think this is the sort of thing that's the wrong game for.
And you know what else is the worst game for him?
What?
Vampire the Masquerade.
Yes.
He's like, no! He'll be like, fuck off! No. You know what he would like?
What?
Exalted.
Oh yeah, you've explained this. See, I could see him potentially enjoying like tabletop strategy wargaming
Yeah.
as well. Like it's like you just get to pretend to strategize that you're like fighting a battle.
I don't know if he'd like things like Warhammer 40k, maybe Warhammer Fantasy. I could maybe see him liking bolt action. He probably would like a more older historical bolt action, but like it being like a medieval sort of time period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him liking that sort of thing. But D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, the role-playing game, not really. No. I don't see him liking that in most cases. I have to ask, okay, what is this guy here? They got like a ring around.
Oh, this is Ashvathaman, aka Hot Wheels.
What?
No, we call him Hot Wheels because he has a wheel and he's on fire and he's a very angry boy.
He's on fire.
Yes, he's angry and he's on fire. I don't think he'd be fun.
That's a concern. I mean, if they're on fire...
Well, his wheel is on fire. So that's why he's
Is
Hot
the wheel there all the time?
No, it's just Noble Phantasm. Sometimes the wheel is usually there, it isn't always on fire.
Right.
I'm not sure whether or not he would play.
What is
It's
this?
one thing that I'm thinking.
What is this person?
So he's a character from the Mahabharata. So he's an Indian hero. He's been cursed by Krishna.
Okay. Okay.
Wouldn't have the patience. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like he seems like he'd be too pissed off at everything.
Okay. Interesting. What's this character's kind of story? You know.
I'm trying to remember it. I'm not too familiar with the Mahabharata. It's the one that Karna and Arjuna come from, the big Indian epic.
Okay.
But I know that like he's been cursed by Krishna, so that's why he's angry all the time.
I mean, anyone who's kind of
And
cursed.
is wanting.
Boy, we do not need more people who are cursed to be playing D&D.
Yeah, I think that he probably wouldn't play. He wouldn't be fun.
I think. Okay.
I think yeah, it's like I agree with Seth. It's like he wouldn't have the patience for this game.
It sounds like maybe he'd start playing, but would stop playing.
Yeah. Like he'd
Probably less.
something would happen and he'd just get mad and leave.
I'm almost just put him there then.
Yeah.
Actually.
He'd
Yeah, I
be
think
in the gym box.
he'd at least entertain it at first, so I guess he's more of a player than Gil is. Maybe, okay, I put him like there, I guess. I think. Yeah.
Like he'd probably like you'd show him how to make the character sheet and he'd just be like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. At least we get to that point, I guess.
Yeah. and then he'd go like and pretend to punch Karna or something.
Okay, who's this person here with the hat?
The hat, which one?
There.
Oda Nobukatsu would not play because Oda Nobunaga is not at my Chaldea, and so she couldn't be playing. This is Oda Nobunaga's brother. I don't know so I think that he wouldn't play, but I'm not sure if he'd be fun or not. So his whole thing is that he loves his sister, who is Nobunaga.
Sure.
But that's the thing, it's like, I don't think he'd have any interest in playing a game unless she was also playing it.
Okay.
Like,
Well, sure. But do we know much about this
yeah,
guy's
exactly.
personality?
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of his personality, is he loves his sister. Like, he won't hesitate to tell you how great his sister is. And this is why I think that he wouldn't be fun. Is because I think that he'd probably try and make a character that was just Nobu.
Is he a tier 3 sub?
He's a tier 3 sub for his own sister.
Okay, so I actually think he's less fun than that then.
Yeah.
And would not play. I'm gonna maybe put him like there. He's like more like like if his sister is playing, then he'd play.
So if I had Nobu and Nobu said that she'd play D&D, then her brother would want to play D&D because she is.
Yeah.
And he'd play a character that just tier 3 subs for her character the whole time.
Oh God, really? You're making that? He's like your
family, he's like yours brother.
Oh,
exactly.
God.
Yeah, that's the best comparison I've heard.
This is weird, but Hassan is more fun to play.
No,
And you know what Vlad is also? This guy goes like here. He's like, yeah. Okay. And you know what? Even Gil is so weird.
Gilgamesh more fun than
This is fucking like this is yeah. Jeez, that's a pushover. Fucking. I remember when you first saw Yor and Spy's family, and you were just like, "Oh no!"
I was just like, I was expecting that she was gonna have this adorable relationship where she protects her brother.
It's not good.
And he sees her as like a mother figure, but it's like, oh no, this guy wants to be in a.
What's his name?
This guy wants to be in an Emoto anime.
It's called Yuri. It's called Yuri.
Yeah.
But no, at least from your side, it's fine. You know, she's a good sister, but
like her brother is weird.
He's
Yeah.
fucking weird. Yeah.
Okay, so who else?
Who's the guy with the eye?
Which
the
guy?
golden eye staring at me? That guy.
Izzo. I think Izzo would play. Izzo, Okada Izzo, the manslayer. Because people describe him as having a bit of a funny puppy dog personality.
Okay.
He really likes drinking and gambling and stuff.
Okay.
But I think that Izzo would murder Hobo. If that makes sense. Izzo 18 plus as long as there is alcohol, yes. exactly. That's the thing. It's like I think Izzo would turn up, be like, "Can I have beer with this?" Like, yeah, dude, here, have some sake. Come play this game.
Okay.
But I think he'd start. But
Would
I
he
think
get drunk?
he'd get drunk and try and murder the NPCs. Like,
Okay. Yeah, that's when you say would he murder hobo in the sense of, oh, this person shows that I kill him.
yeah,
That
exactly.
style of murder
Yeah,
hobo.
he'd be like a rogue or
Really
he'd be a
bad.
samurai, and he'd be like, kill this guy.
But he would play.
Yeah, I think that.
Like,
Yeah.
how likely do you think he is to play? Like, is he like really likely or what?
I'm not sure how likely. It's like I think that
That's pretty bad.
he'd probably see this as like, oh, this is a fun game.
I'd probably want to put him like there-ish in terms of would not be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like
Is a drunken murder hobo more fun than the ERPer? If you bribe him with alcohol, would be there. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay,
It's like if you told him it's a game we're gonna play, you could have some drinks. It'll be a fun time. I think he'd turn up with lots of sake and.
I think that we should probably like put these two a bit closer. So basically, I'd say ERP is like, you know, she'll make people uncomfortable, whereas he's just straight up disruptive. And being disruptive is one of those things that's like, you can kind of, you know, it could be entertaining. It could be a bit entertaining. Where, you know, so yeah, put him there. He's more fun than him.
Then the guy who's a weirdly obsessed with his sister.
Yeah, talking about him abroad then.
Okay.
I think while I'm looking at this, that you know, she's the ERPer. These are people who will kill you. So maybe we should move this around a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like so I'm not sure what makes the image like turn up over the image.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Okay, so to me, Lancelot right in the corner.
Yeah.
It's probably the order in which they would put him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him like there.
Yeah. The berserkers who just shout and make noise and would just kill you.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it like this. Put those two over slightly. Put her like there. Probably would play. Put her like there. And put him like there. Yeah. That's I think a bit more like it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly nip out. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. We've already got a bit of a variation. I'm actually looking at this. I'm starting to get a bit concerned. I'm not sure how we're going to fit everything on this. Oh. I should see if there's any characters here I recognize. I do recognize some of these, but I don't remember their name necessarily. I want to kind of choose a character that will go through with Holly when she's back. Oh god! Tiger. Okay.
Who are we looking at now?
So I've grabbed Tiger.
Okay, Draguar man. Would Tiger play D&D?
Sorry.
I think Tiger might.
What? What is Dragula? What is this?
What is what?
You said Dragula man?
No, Jaguar man. Maybe I said that
Oh.
weirdly.
Jaguar man.
Yeah, Jaguar man is Tiger, but she's dressed in as a jaguar and is calling herself Jaguar man.
Okay. What?
So she's a pseudo servant with the Jaguar god or something from. She'd want to be a mob boss style character, yeah.
Okay. A mob boss style character. Would play, I guess? I think it would be fun. Right now I'm inclined to think on the because I don't know, Tiger to me straddles the line between annoying mum character and, you know, entertaining mum kind of character. She's a bit hyper. Yeah, being hyper to an extent can be okay, but it can get to be a bit much. It can be a bit exhausting.
I'm just advertising this stream around.
Yes. I don't know. Right now I'm putting it like there. She's tweeting very slowly.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see Tiger kind of annoying some people, maybe?
Yeah.
At least Tiger, she's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think Tiger in Stay Night and Hollow Anorexia is a mixture of annoying and fun.
Yeah. And kind of hyper. Yeah, that's one thing as well. It's like, she'd be like I think she'd be very enthusiastic.
Holly is posting everything everywhere.
Yeah.
But we should have done this earlier.
Yeah, I'm just noting that I haven't done this. Okay, so who do you want to talk about? Like, yeah, I think that works for Tiger.
Who's this person who looks like they're getting drunk?
That's Tawara Tota. Where would Tota go? He's another one that would definitely bring you snacks because he's got a big bag of rice.
Okay.
And he's kind of a bro. So I'm like, I feel like maybe.
What do you play?
That's what I'm trying to think. So like, I feel like the characters that were kind of like they were bro, they'd hang out and chill with you, would play. I'm not sure how fun he'd be. I mean, like in his legend, he did fuck a dragon, or a lady who turned into a dragon. So I feel like I wonder if he'd be the kind of guy that's like, oh, I will, can I fuck the dragon? It's like, no, dude.
I mean, if you're the bard, then no, absolutely can't.
He does have a big bag of rice, and he can make it rain rice.
Okay. I think probably maybe he goes in somewhere in that kind of space.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I can see that being a thing, sort of middle baseline.
Yeah. Can you get done tweeting?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah. He can play a donkey.
I guess, but I don't. What's that?
You remember Shrek?
Yeah. Well, this guy
What does the donkey do? Who does
fucks the dragon.
The donkey fucks the dragon, exactly. Speaking of people who fuck dragons, where are they? There they are. Snackamoon. Not Diarmuid, damn it, I picked the... I tried to pick...
Diarmuid? No, not you!
But where the fuck did I...
You moved them.
Oh, stuff has been moved around.
Oh, where'd they go?
Looking for the riders.
Where? Are they on the
I
screen?
feel like I have moved them somewhere. There they are.
Ah, you managed to move them both. Oh, you managed to move a bunch of them.
Ah,
Fuck.
damn it, okay.
You can't put them back. You can't put them back.
Okay, so that's regular Diarmuid, and Zhangyu. I'll sort them at a different time. I didn't realise I could click more than one thing.
Yeah.
So these two...
so they're a pair.
Oh, you get they're a pair of the same server with the two people, and I think
One of them is a dragon.
One of them is a dragon, exactly. So I think that they would play, because I think all you would want to play.
Sure.
Like, I think you'd say we're playing a game called Dungeons and Dragons, and all you would get excited and be like, can all you play the dragon? Or something.
But wouldn't she be disappointed if I said no? I said, no, you can't play a dragon.
It's one of those where it's just like, is there a way that you could, like, maybe convince her to play a half dragon or a dragonborn or something?
I don't know, is there?
I'm like, maybe it's still a dragon. It's like, there are playable dragon characters you can be, you just can't be the dragon.
I think that she would find Dragonborn, like, race in 5e D&D really disappointing, the same way I do.
Yeah, see, it's one of those where, like, these two, like, they'd have to either both play or both not play.
Sure.
Simply because they are connected, so it's like... But also they're married, so they're the kind of couple that do everything together.
Would they be fun?
The sort of thing is like, I think whether or not they'd play would depend entirely on whether or not you think or you would be happy with the dragons that you can play.
I guess put her on that point
Yeah.
line, but would they be fun?
Yeah,
That's the
'cause
thing.
I think that what they do is that he'd make a character that kind of mitigates her trying to be stupid, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because I feel that all you would probably get easily distracted and want to do like piss around things in game. Like, asking, like, are there frogs?
To me, this seems like the annoying couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like potentially annoying wife and husband that mitigates her being annoying.
Yeah, but that still sounds like a fairly annoying combo. I don't put them like there.
Yeah.
Weird when I'm put. Okay, I need to move these in.
Some of these, yeah.
Let me think about this for a sec. Like, probably more like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so these two at the bottom that I ended up moving onto the tier list as well. That's Diarmuid Lancer, and that's Zhang Yu, who is a berserker. I don't think that he'd play or would be fun to play. He is a giant mechanical centaur.
Okay. Does he have runic mechanical balls?
Maybe. You'd have to ask Yume Ren.
Okay, well.
His vampire wife.
The vampire wife?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that on account of him being a giant mechanical centaur, I don't think that he would be very interested in playing a little game like this. He's so huge, he would probably just knock over the table.
See the counterpoint to Chiron?
Yeah. I think it'd be less fun than Gil. You'd have to be very brave or stupid to ask Yume Ren that question. I think maybe he'd be like a bit less fun than Fatherman.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word on that one. Diarmuid.
This is Saber. They're not Saber. This is Lancer Diarmuid. Saber Diarmuid's up here somewhere.
Let's just
further down
concentrate.
because he's Saber. Yeah.
Just concentrate him for him.
Yeah.
It seems. I don't think he'd play. I don't think he'd really want to play.
Okay.
Just the vibe I get from him. I don't think he'd be particularly interested. Would he be fun to play with? Maybe mildly.
Okay. So maybe he'd be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of seems like, I don't know, and he wants to be a knight and serve a king and stuff like that, but I don't know if D&D would facilitate what he'd want to do.
I think he's a very kind of live in real life kind of person.
Yeah.
And I don't think he likes supernatural things that fuck with him. He doesn't like that he has a supernatural.
He doesn't like that, like, I can't help having sex with your wife.
Can you imagine how he would like? I'm imagining him
cursed.
accidentally playing a bard, and accidentally seducing everything, and him hating it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to look for it.
Could you get me another drink?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I know this is a bit of a sort of odd tier list, but it's sort of an, I guess, somewhat interesting idea that I've had for a little bit. I'm not sure what percentage of my audience actually also enjoy other weird nerd stuff outside of Fate. But yeah, Jim keeps saying that he wants to start making D&D YouTube content. That's also part of why I proposed this idea to him. Does everybody watching sort of agree with this, or do you think that maybe some things could be different, or the stuff is going to move around as we add more and more people? Okay. Yeah, could you grab me another drink?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Just very quickly.
Yeah, that's.
Just give us a couple minutes. Refreshment break.
Okay. So, what we got next?
Okay, so who would you like to do next? Difficult to say. Some be different depending on the campaign or if they were the DM. Yeah. Like, there are some that I can see being,
I
like...
think we're working under the assumption
could
that
you
they're
get-
all players.
Yeah, could you open that for me?
Yes, mommy, you can.
Yeah. So let's go on the assumption that, like, someone else was DMing, but yeah, I guess maybe some of them might enjoy
Were
being
you
the DM
working
more.
under the assumption that I'm the DM?
Yeah, that's kind of my initial idea, is I was just like...
I would be
Yeah,
very
it's just like-
scared.
But I sort of, the initial idea for this came to me because I'd seen a while ago online a post that was like, what would you do if all of your FGO servants were summoned like IRL into your house? And one of my initial thoughts was like, D&D night's going to be interesting because we have one of those at least like once a week.
Okay, who's this blonde guy?
This is Billy the Kid.
Oh, I see.
And I'm like, would Billy the
gun.
Kid play? Yeah, he's got a little cowboy gun.
Okay, Holly, right. You're about to play D&D and then he shoots you.
I know. I feel like Billy the Kid might enjoy D&D because he isn't actually a kid, but he still seems quite young. So I wonder if you could let him play a gunslinger type character.
There is a gunslinger class
Yeah.
made by Matt Mercer.
I was gonna say, I guess the closest you could get maybe is if he played a ranger with a horse companion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Actually, having a horse companion is pretty solid because you can ride around on it.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, I feel like
yeah, I mean,
I
sure.
think he'd play. With,
Guess would play. Maybe would be fun to play
maybe
with.
he'd be fun. Billy's kind of cool.
Is he? Is he actually the real Billy the Kid? Was theoretically like 17 or something. He was quite young.
Yeah, I think he's around the same age as Billy the Kid was in real life.
So I mean, would he be fun to play with? Sure, maybe mildly. I think maybe more fun than like weird Santa Florence Nightingale.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wasn't Billy the Kid's like the thing that he's most famous for, the fact that he tends to survive things?
He basically survived like 3 really intense gunfights without getting shot even.
Yeah.
Until he was, well, there was an attempt to arrest him, but it just resulted in him getting shot and dying.
Yeah.
Basically. And then they were just kind of made into a legend.
He's also quite carefree.
Yeah.
As a character, it seems. So he seems like the kind of guy that might like go along for the ride and enjoy the game.
Yeah. Shall we grab an Astolfo? Because
I have 2
your
Astolfos.
beloved character.
My boy. Let's get down to the riders. There's Stolfy. I think Stolfy would play and would be very fun.
Yeah.
Because he is the paladin, guys.
Personally, I would be inclined to think
Wasn't
less
Billy the
fun than
Kid shot?
Coup.
Less fun than Coup?
Yeah.
This is Astolfo. He's the paladin. He goes on magical paladin adventures with
Definitely
his
would.
paladin friends
I do think would play. Definitely.
and does things like obtain magical flying horses and
Yeah, basically, from what I
gets turned
understand,
into a bush
the guy
by
that
a
was
witch.
supposed to arrest Billy the Kid basically like walked into the room in which he was staying in, saw Billy the Kid looking out of the window and shot him in the back.
Yeah, it was
So there's different like accounts and stuff. It's a bit disputed.
That's how it sometimes seems with like cowboys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Astolfo would be very fun. I think he'd still want to play a paladin.
Yeah. Probably.
But I don't know if he'd play a human paladin. Like, I feel like Astolfo might look through every playable race and find what looks the most fun.
Choose to be an elf so that you can be a femboy. I could see
Yeah.
that.
Like, I think Saber Astolfo would be the same as normal Astolfo. Like, that's Bedivere. I'm gonna click on
Yeah, well, now Bedivere's in.
Bedivere's in the tier list. Okay,
Yeah.
where's... Is Saber Astolfo also there? Yeah, Bedivere and Saber Astolfo.
Careful, stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, give me the mask.
Yeah.
Bedivere and.
So put Saber Astolfo next to Astolfo.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know
I feel like they're the same character.
Yeah.
And I think Bedivere would only play if Artoria was playing.
Put that one there. Bedivere. Okay.
That's the thing, he's like Artoria's most loyal knight. So I think that like if she was playing, he'd play this like, this is what my king thinks is enjoyable, then I shall do it to myself, then I shall do it too.
would Bedivere be fun?
I think he'd be less fun than Saber.
Okay. But like here, maybe more fun than Tiger? Or...
I know.
What? Tell me about Bedivere. Tell me about him.
This is the thing. It's like Bedivere, he really loves Artori. He's a very loyal, handsome knight.
Oh, are you telling me he's a tier 3 sub?
He's a tier 3 sub to Artoria.
Put him over here then. Right, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he'd tier 3 sub to Artoria so hard, like... I feel like he'd wait for her to tell him what to do in game as well if they were playing together.
Sure. Probably, I'm being a bit harsh there, probably put him like there.
Okay.
Pull out the motherfucking king!
Which king? There's a lot of kings. It's Fate. Iskander. Okay, where would I think Broskander would play D&D.
Yeah, I do think as well. Yeah, I think he would definitely.
I mean, he likes video games.
I mean, he'd almost certainly play.
He's an absolute pro.
The question of whether or not he would be fun to play with, I think entirely depends upon the other players.
Yeah. Because I feel that Iskander would be the player who turns up. Definitely, though, he'd prefer Risk.
Oh, he'd love Risk. Yeah.
Because, like, I feel that, like, the problem with Iskander is he might show up, be the new player that gets very invested and too excited, and then sort of becomes, like, the main character.
I'd put him, like, there. He's, like, just left of the line. I think he could be really annoying to kind of people who would find him controlling.
Yeah,
or I don't like him hogging the spotlight.
Yeah, like some people he might be the kind of guy that tries to tell other people how they should make their decisions.
Yeah.
Like this thing, I feel like he's naturally a commander of an army, so maybe he'd be inclined to keep doing that, but yeah.
Okay.
Let's
see a murderous maid.
Charlotte Corday. I'm trying to think, would Corday play? Corday kind of loves you, the master. But I don't know, I can't imagine her really enjoying it. She's like so she was a nun. She was sort of raised in a nunnery before killing a dude in the French Revolution. Like, she killed a guy who was on the side of the French Revolution.
Right.
And I feel that, like, a game like this might be something she'd find a bit too... Like, I'm not sure how I'd, like... I feel like it's a game where you play it being a fantasy adventure hero.
You know?
And I think, yeah, she'd probably not really enjoy, like, it's a fun fantasy game.
She disliked the lack of realism.
Maybe. I think she might find D&D hard to understand. If that makes sense.
Would it be a bit strangely abstract for her?
Yeah.
Okay. Would she be fun?
I don't think she'd really be fun either.
Yeah.
Like, I think she'd maybe try and play a character that's very boring because she doesn't know what to do. Like, I feel like you might have to... She's somebody who you might have to keep explaining the game to a lot.
But anyway,
yeah, it's like, I know when I first started playing, I had to have the game explained to me a lot. But I think, like, she'd also not enjoy it. But yeah, let's see who else. I'm kind of wondering if we could fill out the other two.
Sure. How about we have this lady?
Nitocris. One of your waifus.
Nitocris.
Oh god.
So she's a pharaoh?
She's a pharaoh. Well, she was probably not a real person.
Okay.
Herodotus wrote about her, and Herodotus lied about everything.
Let's not go into the hypothetical.
And
she's not real.
And she's mentioned in a Lovecraft story.
Okay.
So I thought you'd have heard of her from that. I forget which one it is.
I haven't read every Lovecraft story.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know when Nitocris comes up.
I'll have to look up which one it is, but yeah.
I mean, you mentioned an entirely different Lovecraft story today that someone spoke about that sounded dumb and fun.
Yeah.
That I've never heard of.
This is strange. So she's a pharaoh. She's connected to the underworld. She's a massive tier. I say massive tier 3 sub. She's a bit of a tier 3 sub to Ozymandias.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to think. Is like, would Nitocris want to play a game where you kind of pretend to do magic?
Well, not necessarily. You could do other things.
So, yeah,
right?
I did make a Dungeon Crawl Classics character who was somewhat based on Nitocris, but very, very dumb.
Yeah.
She had like 4 intelligence,
Yeah, that was very, very dumb.
but it made her incredibly fun to play.
Yeah, because you were always like rolling sort of like, you know, your knowledge of the gods and intelligence and religion and things, and you were often like rolling poorly and then being like, the gods foretold of this.
Yeah, but then she had, was it like a -2
Yeah.
intelligence modifier? So like whenever I rolled, it was just like,
And everyone
Terrible.
always was just like, okay. You know, just didn't take what you said seriously.
yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, would Nitocris play? I feel like maybe she wouldn't.
What?
This is what I'm trying to think. It's like, I'm not sure.
Is it just like you think she does a lot of stuff in real life such that she wouldn't really be
Yeah,
inclined
it's
to...
like, I feel like, although I think she'd be fun to play with if she did.
Okay. Help him.
I'm not sure how fun. It's like I almost feel like she'd want to be like a necromancer or something that lets her do like death magic.
Sure. Okay.
Like, I summon little wadgets. Not like, I summon little ghosts, but they look like my little ghost sheet friends.
What's the, you know the ghost guy here?
The ghost guy? Arash.
I think Arash feels slightly uncomfortable by having, like, a stopper
Do a
groins
stopper
just, like,
stop.
right against his face. Just saying. What is this stretchy person?
This is Paracelsus von Hohenheim.
Okay.
So all these like images are done by the artist Rio, who draws the Fate Learning with manga comics, but these are like how the characters all appear for April Fools in his art style.
Okay.
Because he's a very tall, slim character, he made him very long. I don't think Paracelsus would want to play.
I'm sorry, but could you please explain to me who Paracelsus is?
So this Paracelsus von Hohenheim, he's a historical alchemist.
Oh!
You know the dad-
No, I do know vaguely of
You know the
this
dad in
character.
Full Metal Alchemist?
It's based on him, yeah.
His name is based on him, that's why he's called von Hohenheim.
Yes, he's quite a forefront of alchemy, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I think that he wouldn't be fun and wouldn't play because he's so many of the like medical scientist servants are very uptight and very focused on work.
But he's an alchemist, he's not a medical person.
Yeah, he's an alchemist, but like, you know, he's sort of very too dedicated to his alchemy. Like, I think you'd ask him like, if do you want to play this game? Alchemy is a mechanic in this game, but he'd be like, pardon?
D&D doesn't have proper...
Yeah, exactly. I think he'd look at it and be like,
You know how I
this
know,
is
like...
stupid.
You know how I consider the alchemy mechanics of D&D to be
Yeah.
insufficient? This guy would be much more extreme. He'd be like, this is bullshit. Where's the proper rules here?
Yeah, he'd just look at it and be like, you can't do this. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like alchemy is all about literally you take one thing and make it into a new thing with the same base materials. But in fiction, it's often depicted as just like potions, and it's like, Okay.
You nearly clicked the cross button there.
oh gosh.
But you're just like, oh, I'm going to turn off the stream. MASH!
Okay, Mash. Where's Mash? There's Mash. Mash would play because she loves you. Could you select Mash? The Mash would be like, yes, Senpai, I would love to play a game with you, Senpai.
Yeah.
I don't know how fun Mash would be to play with. I mean, she's kind of cool. I think my biggest issue would be Mash being a bit too much of a tier 3 sub for you, the DM.
Yeah, I might have put her like...
Yeah.
Ish? Maybe, I think she's probably more likely this. She's probably like there.
Yeah. She'd
She's
definitely play with you, because that's the thing, and it's like, you know, explain to her, like, it's a game, you get to pretend to be a hero, and this is how you can make it, and there are so many characters she could maybe decide to base her character on.
I think that you know, she'd be fun to play in the sense that she'd be enthusiastic.
Yeah.
So, you know, put her, like, there.
Yeah. Mash would want to play D&D with you. She wants to do everything with you.
Come, Polly.
Okay, I'm having a look at who else.
God, it's the lady riding the skull.
Need to do Salome.
Remember when you showed me the picture of Salome?
Yeah, for the wife tier list. I don't know. I don't think Salome would want to play. And if she did, she'd be kind of weirdly annoying. Danica, her obsession is that so she's a berserker, and her obsession is that, like, she wants the head of John the Baptist.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked. I remember you telling me this before, and I thought, what the hell?
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like I can't help but feel that, like, she'd maybe be like, oh, I want to cut that guy's head off in game, but it's like, please don't, Salome. That would disrupt the game.
I want to put her like there. Probably inclined not to play after you're like, no, you can't chop off John the Baptist's head in this game. Please stop bringing in your weird real life shit.
Yeah. That seems. Yeah, I mean, like, is that like a kind of like that guy that turns up?
That is a very specific form of that guy.
When somebody has like a very
they
specific
have a
thing
real
they want to
hang
do.
up,
Yeah.
specifically with some specific person, and then bring it into the game. That is a very specific form of that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's even worse. I've seen it when that guy, that specific type of that guy, is the DM.
Yeah.
It's worse. It's so much worse.
Oh gosh, what's it like when that guy is the DM?
Well, it's like the stuff that your heroes do isn't concentrated on. What's concentrated on is this bullshit story that they wanted to do.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna say I'm just gonna go with them in order until we start coming up with like.
Sure.
Gonna go with that. Okay, so it's David.
What? David from David and Goliath?
David from David and Goliath. David from the Bible.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Well,
if
I'm
he
like,
would.
I think he would.
Okay.
We could be, because he'd start asking questions. I'd be like, yeah, there's giants in the game. Yeah, you can fight them. So, you know, you can fight giants in the game.
Oh my god, he would get like the perfect nat 20 at the right time.
Yeah.
Exactly, just like.
Has he got really high luck? I'm imagining that.
I'll have a look at what his luck is.
A really high luck stat.
Just like, yeah, you're fighting the Tarask.
Look, let's have a look.
Profile. His luck is A.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah?
See, I'm imagining he's a pretty lucky guy.
He got like the world's first recorded nat 20.
Would he be fun to play with?
I don't know. I'm like,
I don't know. Maybe inclined to put him like here or something. I'm not entirely sure.
yeah, I don't think I know enough about David as a character in the game. Like, he's fairly minor.
Yeah.
Although I think it might be funny if you have this guy who turns up and he just manages to like get the luckiest roll, killing the biggest monster in the game.
I have to ask who this guy with the sort of strangely.
This is William Tell.
Okay, who's that?
Do you not know the story of William Tell shooting the apple off his son's head?
Oh, well, I've seen examples of shooting apples off people's heads.
That's who William Tell is. And I don't think he'd play, because he's a bit of an older guy.
That sounds kind of psycho.
No, but he was sort of...
I mean...
basically, it was like...
putting his child in danger by the sound of it.
He was kind of forced into this situation where, like, prove you're such a good archer and hit this apple off your son's head.
Oh.
And so he did. And I think the person who set it up expected that he would kill his own child, but he didn't.
Okay.
William Tell Overture, Lone Ranger theme.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, David is also the father of King Solomon. I've forgotten a lot of my Bible lore from RE class. Yeah. That's things like I feel like he'd be like, "Oh, you kids, enjoy your game."
Yeah, sure.
And
but it
go
also
do something
sounds
outside.
like he doesn't like. Would he probably hate evil authority? Yeah.
I'd assume so.
probably take a lot of issue with that.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It's like, yeah, I think he wouldn't play because he prefers to be outdoors hunting in real life. And he's a bit of an older guy, so he'd probably think the young ones are going to play their game.
Maybe he could get pulled into
Yeah.
playing. Would it be fun? I think
Again,
maybe he could be fun if he
Maybe I
wants.
feel like he'd be like everyone's dad.
Yeah. Who's that person there with the funny pointy spear?
This is Gareth.
Gareth.
She's one of the Knights of the Round Table.
Okay. It's called Gareth.
Her name is Gareth, yeah, Sir Gareth.
Sir Gareth.
Is gender swapped in Fate, of course.
Sir Gareth sounds so funny
Right,
to me.
I think she'd be kind of like... If she's a knight, I think if her king was doing it, she'd be like, yeah!
Okay.
But she's a bit of a younger knight. So I feel like she'd be up for it.
The image
fun
I'm getting...
game.
What I'm getting the vibe from her right now is just this kind of super eager, happy, go-to-it night. You know?
But that's kind of how she seems.
Yeah.
Like, she seems like one of the Knights of the Round Table who's actually like a fun character that people really like.
Sure. Okay.
So I feel like she'd be like, yeah, I want to play, but also because she's like a kid compared to the others, it seems like, you know, I feel like if you were saying you were playing a game, the younger servants would be more inclined to play with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what else should we go whoever this is?
This is... Okay, so this is This is Archer or Assassin? Where are the Assassin? This is the Archers.
Right.
So there's two who look pretty much identical. That's Uriel, that's
Should we
Steno.
call them both in?
Yeah, they're both... So these are the Gorgon sisters. These are Medusa's older sisters who are mean to her.
Right. So,
and then-
I'm going to say if I'm the DM,
Yeah.
then fuck them, they're not playing.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
The Medusa's mean older sisters.
Get out of my house.
Like, you bully Medusa, you're not allowed. But they're too obsessed with themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but being serious, I mean, I don't know, are they more fun to play with than, like, I don't know, these guys?
Than Hot Wheels.
Are they likely to
more
play?
fun than Gilgamesh?
Are they likely to play?
I don't think that they would play. It's like, I feel like this weird, like, they're so obsessed with themselves and how beautiful they are. Like, oh, we're such beautiful idol goddesses.
Wait, so you're basically, like, talking about them being, like, what you call it? They'd be kind of like the stereotypical mean girl character.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's how they'd be, especially if, like, any version of Medusa was playing.
Okay.
They would, like, probably bully her, and she'd not complain about it, which would suck.
Speaking of, we have
Medusa? I don't think she'd play.
I think she'd play if Sakura was playing.
Yeah, she'd only play if Sakura played.
I think that's the only case, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like we see in Hollow Ataraxia, the sort of hobbies Medusa likes tends to be on her own.
Here's the thing, I think I'd argue that she'd be fun to play then.
Yeah.
Because, from what we know, she just spends loads of time just reading books all the time.
Yeah.
I actually imagine she'd be quite knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And quite good in a narrative.
Like, maybe if she'd been reading some fantasy books, you could say, hey, would you like to play a game that's like this sort of story? And then maybe she'd look at making a character based on somebody from the fantasy book she read.
Yeah, and it would have, like, depth.
Yeah.
And you'd go, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Medusa might be fun to play with, but she probably, would rather be on her own to do things with. Where is she?
Looking for what other
Lancer Medusa, though.
Okay.
I feel like, she's got scythe. It's the blade that killed her in myth, apparently, but on the end of a scythe.
Okay.
I feel like she's more inclined to play, partially because she's a kid, but she pops up in Babylonia and she sort of...
Would
she seems happy that you like her, and She's there to kill the older version of herself who's become a monster.
Would she not be as fun as herself? As her...
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I feel like maybe it's like,
Okay.
hey Medusa, do you want to play in a game where you can be the hero and not the monster?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that would appeal to her.
Well, that's about would she play. Would she be fun?
Would she be fun?
Is the
This
question.
is what I'm wondering, is I feel like she's the kind of player who would need a lot of encouragement.
Okay. I'm inclined to put her like there.
Yeah.
Like she could be a bit of a hassle, by the sound of it.
Yeah. I think she'd just be very, very shy. And you'd have to sort of tell her, like, you can do this.
Unfortunately, pulling a person out of their shell at the table is not that fun.
I mean, I have played with some people who, like, sadly he had to leave our LGS game, who's a very shy person, but, like, he really enjoyed D&D.
Sometimes a player can be really fun after you've managed to pull them out of your shell.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of kid players, I think Kid Gil
Oh,
might...
that's Kid Gil.
This is Child Gilgamesh.
Okay.
And I think he's more inclined to play, simply because he's a child.
Yeah.
And I feel like... My question is... I don't know how fun he'd be to play with.
He'd still be pretty damn entitled, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is I think that, like, because he's Gilgamesh, he's still going to be Gilgamesh.
I think he's probably quite likely to play. I'm almost
Yeah.
inclined to put him over, like... He's probably going to be more annoying than him.
So he's kind of like, he's Gilgamesh, he's grown to adulthood, he's taken a potion of youth, which
Yeah.
is what he made from the snake. Well, no, what he made from the plant that the snake took from him. His kid version's the polar opposite. Yeah, it's just one of those where it's just like, you know, would he still be a bit bratty? So it's like, Like, he doesn't like the adult versions of himself. I know he's got a bit of an obsession with, like, oh, I love women who are like a wildflower.
That's oddly specific.
But I feel that, like, Kid Gil might just bring up the kind of problems with playing D&D with kids.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean, if you're running a game, I wouldn't run a game with a kid in it unless I was running a game for kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's like, would you consider him fun or not fun to play with, is what I'm thinking. I like Kid Gil, he is my son.
I feel like kids...
But in a D&D setting, I'm just wondering, would he be a bit...
In kids in D&D, I have less of a, you know, expectation. They're kids, you know?
Yeah.
I just want them to just basically play the game and have fun. So if he does that and he's okay, then he's probably okay.
I'd say, yeah, he's probably more fun to play with than, like... I don't know, I think, like, if you could get him to play D&D, Caster Gil would be more fun, but, like, I think Kid Gil would still, I guess, kind of be fun.
Like, there. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Who's this little green girl?
Boy, that's Paris.
Okay.
So this is the person who killed Achilles.
Okay.
He's an archer, he's...
Wait.
A child?
That's Paris of Troy.
This is Paris of Troy, yes. His big brother Hector is also here. See, I'm putting him in woodplay because child.
Getting slightly uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable. I'm getting slightly annoyed with the gender bending here. I'm
No,
like,
he's a dude. He's not gender bent.
I'm looking at a girl.
He looks like a girl, but he is a dude, I promise you.
Okay.
You don't complain they didn't gender bend the Stolfo.
But to me, a Stolfo looks like a dude.
Yeah.
A feminine dude. This looks like a girl.
I think it probably is because, like, Paris is a child, and I guess,
Yeah.
you know, it's easier, like, a Stolfo clearly
Why are
has
they
a
a
flat
child?
man chest.
The person was not a child. What is
Not
with
sure why Paris is a child.
That's really strange.
Orlando Bloom from the Troy film.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if you'd like the Troy film.
Maybe.
It has Paris and it has Achilles in it.
So it's like, yeah, would Paris play D&D is one thing I'm thinking. He does talk to Apollo, which is the sheep on his head. And Hector, yeah.
I do not know that.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Is I'm there like I think that Paris.
I think they play because child.
Maybe they would be kind of annoying. Is one thing I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Is that like
Hector.
they really love Hector. Something I don't know. Maybe if they played a game and Hector was playing to sort of manage his little brother.
I think it's a similar kind of case to this guy.
Bedivere. Yeah. I feel like Paris might be more inclined to be somewhat annoying child.
I think probably more annoying than Bedivere because child.
Yeah.
like an annoying hyper child.
Yeah.
Is the impression I get.
Yeah, I can see that. And there's also the sheep on his head, and I feel like the sheep might cause them problems.
We have way too many to go through.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like...
Oh my god. How long is this stream gonna be?
I don't know, as long as they normally go for. Right, shall I start going through them out, like, alphabetically, or do you want to pick out the ones you know best?
Okay, I'm gonna ask, what is this? Is this Jason's guy?
This is Jason.
That's
so Jason is the little guy hiding behind everything.
Oh, I see.
I'm like, I don't know, would Jason play D&D? I feel like if he did, he wouldn't be fun to play with. I think that he'd be the guy that, like, insists on making everybody else do everything for him.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know if he'd want to play D&D. Like, I don't know if he'd be like, this is a children's game.
I'm inclined to put him, like, here.
Yeah.
He'd be, like, a bit annoying to play with because he wouldn't do much himself. And he wouldn't really play unless you kind of did everything for him. Like, oh, here's a character sheet. Oh, this is how you use your abilities.
Possibly. Remind you of his journey with the Argonauts.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, yeah, you get to be, like, a part of a team of heroes. So it's like, oh, I'm used to doing that. But then I feel like he would try and maybe treat the other players the way he treats the Argonauts.
Yeah, which is pretty
like,
annoying.
I'm the leader, you do what I tell you, and I'm gonna hide behind everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. It's pretty annoying. Put him, maybe,
Yeah.
you know, actually, I'll put him, like, there.
Wouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I could...
Put him, like, there. Yeah, maybe he's... maybe more likely to play.
Yeah. Okay. So I go through these, like, Robin Hood.
That's Robin Hood.
That's Robin Hood,
Okay.
yeah. I don't think he'd play.
Okay.
He's one of those where he seems like he would probably prefer... He seems to only really enjoy outdoor activities, although he is kind of a bro in some of the summer events.
Like, it's Robin Hood, though, so I'm like...
Yeah, I think
Probably
Robin Hood would be fun. He's like the ranger.
Yeah,
Like, the archetypal ranger.
The ranger, yeah.
But I think he'd sort of look at this game and sort of be like, I don't really want to play a game like this.
Yeah. That's a quick one. Who's the demon lady?
This is Tomoe Gozen.
Okay. Oh, it's Tomoe.
Tomoe, yeah, you might recognize her from Sekiro.
Yes, I do.
She was a woman in life.
She's not actually in Sekiro?
Yeah, she's just
referenced.
mentioned. I think she would play because she enjoys video games.
Okay.
And I feel like maybe she would be fun. Like, she's known for being a very, like, accomplished female samurai.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay.
So it's like, oh, video game? It's like a video game, but you play it in real life. Might be what would entice her to play.
Would she be more fun? Let's try and think relatively speaking. So would she be more fun than Artoria?
Like, I think because she already liked video games, which is like a modern pop culture thing, she might be more fun than Artoria. I'd maybe put her on par with, like, Summer Artoria.
Okay. So, like, Summer Artoria, like...
Yeah. Okay. This is Charles Henry Sanson. This is the guy who cut off Marie Antoinette's head. This is one that I think would not enjoy D&D.
This guy looks like your stereotypical that guy.
Yeah,
He's wearing a big trench coat.
Yeah, it's like, I feel that, like, he would... This is one of those servants where I was thinking, like, maybe some servants would enjoy if you made something like Call of Cthulhu, where you can make it investigative and it's kind of dark, but it's realistic.
Yeah. but probably wouldn't play
but
D&D.
probably wouldn't play D&D.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he'd be fun to play D&D with either, because, like...
I think he could situationally. He probably would take the investigator role by the sound of it. Which, if he just...
Or something, like, he'd be something very pragmatic and practical, but I can't see him enjoying something with too many fantasy elements.
To me, this kind of character who sort of doesn't participate that much, but where he does participate, he's very, like, useful in the moment.
Very efficient in what he does, because he's sort of... In the game, he kind of heals.
Mildly fun.
They're mildly fun.
But probably would not play. It's probably like around there.
Yeah, something like that. I'd put Jekyll in the same place.
Jekyll, oh god.
Dr. Jekyll, it's Morbin time, the servant. Because yeah, I find them to be very similar characters.
Sure. Once again, you were hovering over the cross button.
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay.
Terrifying me.
Yeah. Okay, who next?
You know what? Let's get this over with.
Gilderay.
Pull Gilderay out. Okay, so Gilderay would be very unfun to play with.
He'd magical realm.
He'd be
like
there.
Nobody ever.
That's where he goes.
Magical realm.
He'd love to play. He'd be so bad to play with. That's where he goes. He's the top corner. Top right corner.
Would Hyde want? That's what I'm thinking. Is like, I don't think. Maybe Hyde would. I don't think Hyde would be fun. I think Hyde would be less fun than Jekyll.
Yeah, probably.
I think
Is there a
Hyde would be
separate
just...
Hyde thing? Or...
Hyde is not a separate servant, but when Jekyll's noble family turns him into Hyde.
No, you need to even out between Jekyll and Hyde. So where would Hyde go?
Right, I think Hyde. Right, would Hyde play?
Say.
I think Hyde wouldn't be fun. Jekyll.
Would Hyde be like here, and Jekyll would be like there?
I don't know. It's like maybe.
So keep in mind if they're swapping, he's like there.
Yeah. Okay. We say that like he's
But, like-
swapping, then that's where that goes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Fuma. He's a ninja boy. This one thing is like, would Fuma want to play D&D? I feel like maybe I'd put him in there because he does seem like a younger servant. Yeah, he does participate in a summer event, and it's like, I don't know, maybe he'd be like, hey, you can play a ninja.
I mean, you can kind of play a ninja.
Yeah.
There's variations of that kind of thing. Be like a shadow monk.
Yeah, you could probably give him the sort of monk type archetypes and see if he'd want to play that. I could see that working. This is Grey, and I'm like, I don't know if Grey would want to play D&D unless Waver was playing D&D.
To me, isn't Grey just kind of like
How did you do?
pseudo Arthur?
She looks like Saber, but she's not Saber.
Yeah.
I think Waver would play. So these are all based on the first ascension of the character.
Yeah,
That's Waver. He's like he's adult Waver, and then his final ascension he looks like he does in Fate Zero.
Why is he a servant?
Do you have the ultimate otaku servant?
I think we do.
I
yeah.
do. I'm trying to think, where would Waver go? I think Waver would really like D&D.
Okay.
Because I think that Waver would be like...
I can believe that. Would
think-
he be fun to play with? Then?
I'm wondering, because I think he'd want to play like a really good Magus.
Could it be influenced by his skin?
This is the PogChamp Osakabe Hime. She would not be fun to play with, but she would want to play.
Okay.
Because she would be...
In fact, I think she'd really
Ray's a
play.
descendant of Artoria, Waver's a pseudo-servant, yeah.
I think she would go there.
Yeah, I think that Osakabe
But she
Hime would
would-
play like a really irritating
Yeah.
character, if that makes sense. Like, she'd make like the ultimate Mary Sue sort of thing that's clearly based on an anime character and just be irritating. Yeah, so like, I think Waver would enjoy D&D and be quite fun.
She'd be a know-it-all.
Yeah, she'd probably,
Don't want no fucking rules.
because she knows a lot about like modern pop culture more than any other servant, it would seem.
Ray, to me, from what I have seen, seems like a non-character.
Well, that's the thing. I haven't watched enough of the Lord Malloy case files to really know much about Grey
Okay.
as an individual.
What? So tell me what you do know.
What I do know about Grey Yeah, it's
Wait,
the
wait.
Kabahime is the ultimate neckbeard. I also have Blackbeard, who I could go for, who I could put there next. So what I'm trying to think about Grey is... I feel like Grey might be a bit on the fence. And might be somebody who kind of needs encouraging.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna nudge over.
So it kind of feels
like.
like if, for example, if Waver was playing, then like Grey could maybe be convinced to play. And I'm not sure if Grey would enjoy this sort of game. Thinking a bit, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Grey's probably a bit of a recluse, so
maybe a bit hard to pull out of a shell. Yeah,
what did you do? I was thinking as well, because I've already mentioned Blackbeard. I think that he would be very similar to Osakabe Hime.
Okay.
But I think he'd also potentially Magical Realm a bit.
Oh. So these two combined. Right.
So
okay.
it's like
that's actually worse.
That's the book she carries, yeah. See, the thing is, like, I feel like Blackbeard, like, again, he's like Osakabe Hime, that he's a bit of an otaku.
How likely is he to play?
I think that he'd think this is a fun game, but he'd be trying to like seduce all the female NPCs,
right?
And stuff.
Put him like.
So I'm like, I think he'd Magical Realm, but be less creepy about it than Shoulder Ray.
Yeah, I'd put him around there then.
Oh my god, Jinkei. I really don't know enough about Jinkei to know. She likes to drink alcohol and wants to kill the king. Well, the emperor.
Okay. That's a formula for potentially fun, potentially really unfun.
Yeah.
What kind of person are they?
That's what I'm thinking, is like, I really don't know much about them.
The image makes them look kind of serious.
Yeah, I feel like she just likes to drink alcohol and wants to kill the Chinese emperor. And she's one of those characters that you kind of forget about because she doesn't come up much.
I'm just gonna put her there. I think that maybe is roughly...
very bit of a serious character. Don't know enough about her. Matahari. I don't know. So this is a woman who was a spy during World War II. She's a very sexy lady because that's what she did. She kind of seduced people to get information,
spy,
and stuff like that.
Okay. To me, this is the kind of person who's very... She's very... That's the box she carries.
For Osakabe Hime, yeah.
This is the kind of person who's very, like, stuck in real life. Maybe wouldn't enjoy fantasy that much because of that.
Yeah. And maybe put her on the would be fun to play with.
Sure.
I feel like maybe she'd come up with,
has
like...
probably a lot of experience in life.
He signs in after taking a food and coffee, like, hello, bandit. We are deciding which characters from Fate Grand Order that I have on my account would play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I know you don't know Fate, but you know D&D.
Yes.
I'm going to take a quick break, but I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm going to consider Sakimoto.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Is this Sakimoto?
Sakamoto Ryoma with Oyu?
No.
No, that's Sasaki Gojiro.
Oh my god. This is Sasaki.
Chinese.
It's from the original Xbox where Elf was a class. Yes, I have introduced my friends to the original version of D&D, the Beckme version in that context, and I also introduced them to Dungeon Crawl Classic, in which you could play the classes Dwarf, Halfling, and Elf. So yeah, Polly is accustomed to that. But anyway, Mr. Satoshi, he is a samurai known for creating this specific maneuver that allowed him to kill a swallow without it dodging. Yes, Becky started with the red box. Yeah, I'm aware. Red was the basic thing. I did actually have the basic box back in the day, and then it's expert and the rest of it was like companion master and immortal. I didn't ever see anything other than the red box and the rule cyclopedia Beckme box. But anyway, we're going a bit too off into D&D world.
Explaining D&D is like really good. Okay, so we've got Sasaki Kojiro, the assassin from Fate's Day Night.
Yeah, crossing over these. He's a bit too much there. Okay, so Yeah, I was just saying this samurai who basically figured out this special technique to kill a swallow by swiping in 2 locations at once, basically.
Yeah, so it looks like 3 blades at once when he slices it.
Yeah. Guy was really obsessive with like one very specific thing. I wonder if he wouldn't be inclined to play because he's just kind of too into other things. You know, I feel like
I feel like he likes being a samurai in real life. He
I
wouldn't
feel
want to
like
play a game.
if he did play D&D, he'd get really obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But he probably wouldn't start.
So would you put him?
Would it be fun?
Maybe just into the would be fun.
Yeah, like just.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be particularly fun. I think no, actually, wait. If he did get into if he did get into D&D, like I say, I think he'd get really obsessed. He'd get really dedicated. I think he'd go and be quite fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd put him on.
Like he'd try and make a character that does something that nobody else has done, sort of thing.
Put him like.
Or he'd be playing and trying to come up with ways that he could do that.
Yeah.
Start to homebrew things. Okay, Chiome. I don't know. She's a ninja.
Okay.
And she seems like, I guess, more of a serious character, although she does sacrifice herself to help you in Atlantis.
Okay.
So she seems to like to be a help to you.
Yeah, which is always a good
Which is
start.
always a good thing, but I feel like D&D is not a game that would catch her interest.
Okay.
Sort of thing. It's like
Maybe
somebody...
it goes into this box somewhere.
So yeah, I'd maybe put her just into would be fun, because I think that she'd be always trying to do things to help you guys out, to help everybody else out.
Would she be like quite unlikely to play? Or...
That's what I'd say. I feel like I'm not sure how likely or unlikely she would be to play.
Yeah, you're not sure.
Yeah, I'd maybe put her
just...
around there.
Is she maybe higher than that? Is she like in the corner? Like
yeah, I'd maybe put her in the corner for that. Phantom of the Opera, I don't think he'd play, and I don't think he'd be fun to play. He's obsessed with
Isn't the
Christine.
Guy pretty much the archetypical tier 3 sub?
Yeah, he's a tier 3 sub to a woman who isn't even in the game. People say he's more like a berserker than an assassin. How many times could you hear before you just got annoyed in a day?
I would get pretty annoyed.
Bond 10 level 92 Phantom right
I
here.
think that might actually be about the midpoint.
Yeah.
Maybe just around there. Yeah. Okay.
This is Wu Zetian,
Who's Asian?
Chinese Empress,
Wu.
like the only female Chinese Empress. I'm not sure if she would play, because I know she's counted as a child servant, although she acts older than she is, which is one where I'm like, I don't know if I want to see her as a child.
She's an empress?
Yeah. She's very scared of cats and ghosts,
Okay.
and has a bit of a thing for torture.
When you say she's got a bit of a thing for
Yeah.
torture, do you mean she likes it or she hates it?
No, it's in like she likes to have other people tortured.
Oh. Okay. No,
I feel like
I feel like she could quite... She sounds like she might get into D&D quite late.
maybe, yeah, it kind of feels like she's a child, but she's still an empress and acts like an empress, which is why I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe she wouldn't, like, maybe she'd be less inclined to play than some of the other kid
I
servants.
think it sounds like she'd be less fun. Maybe she'd go right, like, around there.
Yeah.
Um...
Like, I feel like you'd have to, like, you'd have to sort of negate things like, okay, so she's scared of cats and she's scared of ghosts.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, if that thing comes up in game, you'd probably want to, like, ask her, like, how okay are you with me describing this sort of thing?
Oh god, I gotta get out the consent form.
This is Yang Qing, assassin of Shinjuku. The Bando Bait, the servant.
Okay.
Know a lot about him outside of his role. He's combined with the legend of the doppelganger. He's a samurai ninja, I think, or something. He's from a Chinese novel. I don't know a lot about him outside of Fate and how he's like always shirtless with big full body tattoos and everything.
Okay.
And he's also combined with the doppelganger, which is why I'm not 100% sure what is his story and what is like the doppelganger story.
Okay, well that's a bit there are doppelgangers in D&D.
I don't know if he'd be fun to play D&D with.
Maybe he'd like to play the kind of spy for the group. Because I'm getting a kind of doppelganger vibe, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he seems like a cool enough guy. Like, he doesn't seem too serious.
Yeah.
I mean, like, in the most recent summer event on JP, he's flirting with the main character. Because they market him as, like, husbando bait. So I'm like, yeah, maybe he'd play. Maybe he'd be cool and chill.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, you know what, maybe I'll be a bit more generous, but I'm like, there.
Mysterios, he's the Berserker, he's the Minotaur.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put Darius with these guys too. Because I don't see much, but I'm pretty sure he's like that.
Is he a screamy, angry boy?
Caligula tier 3 subs for Nero.
Oh god.
Asterios, he's kind of adorable. Like, he doesn't like being a monster that he was born as. He's very friendly, very cute. Big Minotaur bull man. So I'm not sure if... See, I feel like maybe he'd want... You mean her niece? His niece, yeah, exactly, his niece, Nero.
Oh, that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, dude, the butt window isn't that good.
Oh god.
Is it just the butt window? She's your niece, goddammit.
Okay, right. This guy, you're saying he's...
I think Asterios might be like, friends playing game, me want to play game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if he'd be fun to play with because he's still a berserker. He acts quite childlike. So I think he might not fully understand how the game works, if that makes sense.
In the right group, he might be kind of like the party pet.
Yeah, it's like he's very close with Uriel, who we've said wouldn't play.
Yeah.
But Uriel is one of the Gorgon sisters.
Oh right, I see.
But it's like, yeah, I feel like, yeah, Asterios would be the party pet. Like, maybe you could get him to play a character and then roll them to have, like, low intelligence, low wisdom.
Like,
so they work with him being a bit, like, dumb.
There, I guess.
Yeah, he's adorable. This is Atalante Alta, who you'll remember from Apocrypha.
Well, she's a psycho berserker.
Yeah, she wouldn't be fun and she wouldn't play.
Yeah, okay, so I think she's more likely to play than some of these other ones. I think maybe she goes like...
There?
I think actually he's more likely. She goes like there.
I don't know. See, that's the thing. I think like Spartacus would hit Dungeon Master and be like, that is oppression.
Exactly. But I think she's like not even going to listen to you.
Yeah, she does act more like a feral cat.
Yeah.
Than her regular self does.
Try to get her back. Yeah. Heracles. Right.
Yeah, so like put Catalante there.
Yeah.
This is
the Berserker corner.
Florence Nightingale wouldn't be... Normal Florence Nightingale wouldn't play and wouldn't be fun. She's too busy being a nurse. She's too busy with, like, medicine.
Yeah, I'd put it, like, next to,
Yeah, I'd put it next to Vlad in that I think she's very stern.
Yeah. Probably around that.
Yeah, yeah, she's too busy being the nurse.
Okay, this character
is Hijikata. He's one of... Yeah.
Put Hijikata. This character is sticking out.
Oh, that's Paul Bunyan. Oh, Bunyan's a kid servant. I think Bunyan would play and would be fun. Because she's adorable.
Okay. Like,
I feel
what do you mean by the being adorable?
So this is Paul Bunyan. She's a servant created by Rio, the guy who does all this artwork.
Okay.
And she's like a little girl, but she grows up, but she can grow herself to be a really big character.
Okay.
You know the sort of legend of Paul Bunyan in America?
Big giant.
Yeah. So I feel like she'd be the kind of fun, whimsical child playing D&D sort of thing. Like maybe she'd want to have like a bull as a pet because that's what she has.
Sounds like would play.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, I think Bunyan would be fun. Do I have King Protea? I do have King Protea. Thing is, I feel like King Protea is too big. Like she's giant. So, like, she can't read the character sheet because it's too small, and she can't even, like, see the, you know...
showing me pictures of this, and I was like, what?
She can't, like, pick up the dice because the dice are tiny.
I don't
Like,
understand.
imagine making a D20 big enough that King Protea could read it and then roll it. It's
what
got
is
to be
this
like a
giant
meteor
Sakura?
size.
Giant Sakura.
Giant Sakura. She'd force everyone to play with or for her. Yeah, I feel like I'd put her there. Because she'd want to play games with you. Like, oh, Master's playing games, I want to play games. But I feel like part of the issue would be, like, having to facilitate somebody who is literally giant. I mean, like, her noble phantasm shows her standing up above the clouds. She isn't one like Bunyan who is small but grows. She's that size all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, she'd be slightly not fun because this is Irisfield. This is Ilya's mum.
Yes.
Would you play D&D with Ilya's mum?
Yes? Question mark. I don't know if she'd be fun.
I feel like she would play because she'd be like, "Oh, this looks like a fun thing. Like driving recklessly is fun."
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. She's like, woo, woo, with the car. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's nuts. Would she be fun? Yeah, you know what?
Physical ages kid as well. Yeah, Iliasville. Yeah, Iliasville would play.
Would love to be like a kind of supportive role.
Yeah.
Would be very supportive to the party. Would be a real team player.
The party mum.
I'd put her there. Yeah, pretty much party mum. Yeah, for there.
Okay, so shall I continue going through? Shall I go through ones you recognise or in order?
Just pick ones. I don't know.
Okay, so this is Hijikata. He's one of the brand new servants I've got. I don't think he'd be very fun. He's one of the leaders of the Shinsengumi.
Okay.
So he's a samurai policeman, essentially.
Yes.
And I think that, like, he's too much of a serious character, and he's also a berserker. So I feel
He's
like...
angry.
Yeah, exactly. He is kind of angry. I feel like he might not... See, okay, so... Most of my good servants I literally got in the last 3 days.
Okay, I think maybe...
I got Izo, Hijikata, Nobukatsu, Saito Hajime, and Himiko in the last few days. So I don't have the best understanding of them as characters. Ibaraki Doji is a child servant. Well, she's not... She's an Oni. Oni can choose how they look, apparently, and she tends to look and act like a kid. The thing is, she looks and acts like a kid with an obsession with sweets and, like, not much attention for anything else. Yeah, she'd be too distracted by candy. That's what I'm thinking for both versions of Ibaraki. Is I think that she'd be like, what is this game? Like, you get to pretend to be adventurers and heroes. Like, can I have sweets?
I think maybe she goes, like, there.
Yeah.
Then, by description. I think she... It sounds like, would she play or not? It's, well, she'd probably be distracted. So
Yeah,
maybe she'd go like that.
Yeah, and I'd put, like, the summer version of her there too. Where is she? She's a Lancer. There she is. Yeah, I'd put them both there because it's like she'd rather eat sweet things than sit down and play a game. That takes too long. Would probably bore her. This is Jolta Zerka. Summer Joan of Arc Alter, and she's obsessed with wanting to write really good doujins.
What?
Yeah, the Summer 3 was the doujin writing event.
What? Where do you say writing doujins?
So she wants to write the best doujin. So doujins aren't just 8.
I know,
you know.
I know.
That's the whole plot. In Summer 3, you're in a time loop where you're just writing doujins. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. I think that D&D might be an inspiration to her as a doujin writer. She's like, hey, you make a character, you play through a story. So she'd be like, ooh, this sounds exciting. I could get inspiration from this.
I could see that.
But she's also, like, Jolter, so it's like, would she maybe not be fun? Is what I'm thinking. And I feel like maybe
she'd be more fun than regular Jolter.
Yeah, I don't have regular Jolter. I don't think regular Jolter would want to play. But I feel like I'd maybe want to put her there because I feel like she could be a bit intense in a way that puts other people off.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay. Let's grab.
I mean, you write so many doujins in that little story. Summer form is more fun, especially if you have Summerjawn. Yeah, they don't have Summerjawn.
Grab
Medea.
Now,
Yeah. Why do
Medea.
we need a Kazuki pseudo servant like so badly? Give Medea her husband. God damn it.
I think Medea wouldn't play.
Yeah.
Probably.
Actually, Medea is best like housewife.
If she did play,
Evil witch housewife.
if she did play, would she be fun?
Don't call her a witch and you'd be fine. Yeah, just like you're a mage, you're a wizard.
I might have even put her around.
Yeah.
There. Would she be fun?
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe
Like, would
she
be
is
fun?
like quite a selfish person, isn't she? But then again, she's also an interesting and knowledgeable person.
Yeah.
So I feel like I almost want to put her just there.
Yeah.
On the line.
Yeah, I could see that. Like she might have like cool ideas of spells she could do or something.
And good use.
Because I assume she'd want to play a magic character.
Unless she wouldn't. That's the thing.
Yeah,
one of those
you
where
know.
would she like to play someone that isn't like herself?
Or maybe she'd make a character based on her ex-husband and play him to be like really annoying and shitty.
That'd be annoying.
That'd be kind of
But what
annoying
if she
and
played-
funny.
What if she
She's
played
the villain of Fate
character-
Stay Night and UBW tries to break. Exactly, yeah. We've read Fate Stay Night.
Oh, that's a good point. That's
yeah,
a good point.
that's like, yeah.
That was pretty fucking weird. I'd put her like maybe around here.
Yeah,
She had some weird tendencies.
I feel like she'd magical realm at least once. Or just do
Yeah.
something really like vindictive in a way that it puts everybody else at the table off.
I think it's like it wouldn't be constant, but she'd do it once, and everyone would
Yeah.
be not able to. Everyone would be like, "Oh shit, she's weird."
She put Saber in the white outfit, that's a win.
It was a win for you, my.
I mean, did you not like that scene, or is it just because you just don't like Saber that much?
No, I was made somewhat uncomfortable. I was like, Medea, what the fuck are you doing? You're being really fecky weird in a way I didn't expect right now. You know what? Let's get Mr. Golden Man.
Oh yeah, it's Abby Sabron. So I've thought about
I
this
think
one.
we've spoken about it a bit.
Yeah, when I was playing like his last interlude, so he sort of sets up a robot wars for other people with like noble phantasms that they've made in the same way that he's made his golem. But I think that Avisobron would like you'd ask him, do you want to play this game with us? And he'd be like, can I build golems?
And he'd be like,
You can play as the golem.
you could
be a
play as the
warlord.
golem, and you could play a necromancer and have lots of undead.
I think he'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go build golems now.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he'd be not very
I
interested.
think he's like a guy who's way too into just building gunpla, but it's golems.
I think he would be, because he's just so interested in like his thing he's interested in, he wouldn't be particularly fun to play with.
Yeah, he's got a very
Probably go,
one track mind with a very specific thing.
We're out there. He's not like super unfun, he's just kind of obsessed with his
I'm
one
gonna
thing.
put Kiyohime with Hassan of the Serenity because I think they'd do the same thing.
Right.
In that they'd want to play the game because you're playing the game.
Yeah.
But they're servants who are too obsessed with the master.
Yeah.
So like they just tier 3 sub for you.
There's
Sort of
a
thing.
certain entity on here that I have to like point out. What is this?
This is Charles Babbage. I think he'd be like a Visebrand. Because he's like a steam engineer.
He
and
looks like
He's apparently he's apparently encased in like full steam robotic armor.
Oh.
But like, yeah, I think of him as the kettle man.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that he's like a Visobron, that he's just like, does steam exist in this game? And you'd explain, no, steam power doesn't
really.
exist in this game. Like, okay, I'm going to continue building steam things.
Maybe he would enjoy a steampunk game.
Yeah, maybe if a
if there was
steampunk
one.
game existed.
What is this?
This is Hessian Lobo, so this is
Oh.
the Headless Horseman riding on a big blue wolf.
Okay.
I'm putting him with the Berserkers because
Sounds
he's...
kind of psycho.
Yeah, he's the Headless Horseman and his dog.
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow, yeah, exactly. Headless Horseman, Sleepy Hollow, and his dog. I don't think that either of these two are, like, capable of understanding Dungeons and Dragons. Lobo would probably just eat you.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. How about grab? Is this Sieg?
That's Sieg, yes.
Okay.
Sieg would probably play. I think we discussed this.
Yeah, I think he'd play. I think it'd be fun blue. I think Sieg goes like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe even there.
Yeah. I think Sieg would enjoy like, oh, I can play a game and there were like lots of heroes he can maybe base the character that he makes on.
Yeah.
You say he'd be annoying. I feel like he'd be the character you need, or the player you need to encourage.
Yeah, but I feel
I think he'd enjoy it.
Actually, yeah, I wonder if he's less fun than this. Maybe he goes like there.
Yeah. And it's also the thing, like, he's a homunculus. I don't know how well he fully understands human behaviour and human emotion.
Eh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the lack of understanding emotions is probably why he goes there.
Yeah, that's
It's pretty
right.
good intentions,
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
There are some where it's like, okay, so this is Tamamo Cat. So this is a kitsune who was dressed like a cat maid and he's 7 days old at the end of Apocrypha, yeah.
Cheers.
I'm not sure how old he is in Fate Go, but I think he'd still have that, like, not fully understanding people. She's also a berserker.
I'll be honest, I think any cat person in real life is probably not very fun.
I think she's kind of fun, but she's also kind of annoying, if that makes sense.
I guess. I would have thought that any kind of cat person is not going to be a very... Because they're going to be not only annoying, but also like an entitled kind of person is what I'm imagining.
I'm trying to think, because I think like she might be like, oh, this looks fun, I want to play the game.
Yeah.
And then be annoying, and I'm like, do we have a specific spot on here for people who were annoying?
I mean, around there. Kind of, it's like adjacent to her.
Okay. So annoying, similar to Osakama Hime. I think Anastasia might play.
Anastasia.
This is Anastasia Romanov.
Yes.
She was very young.
The Anastasia like animated.
I haven't actually seen that. No, I haven't seen the Blue movie.
It's okay.
But yeah, I think she'd play and would be fun because she was always known for being quite impish, and this comes around and fate. Yeah, she's the daughter of the Russian Tsar, the last Tsar. I think that she's still a child. She's still very impish and childlike, so she might enjoy playing a fun game with people.
Okay.
I think V might be a bit of a weird thing,
Really?
which is the doll she's holding. But I think she'd be fun. I think Castoria would also be fun. I explained this to you again like the other day. She's like Artoria, but from a version where she, instead of becoming the king, she didn't become the king, and
Maybe
she's
she
like
kinda
now
has less-
a mage.
She has like less hang-ups.
Yeah, some of it. Oh, Summer Anastasia next year on NA. Yes. Oh yeah, that is when that comes out.
Look at her like there.
So what I like about Summer Anastasia is that V gets a costume too.
I think she's slightly more likely to play and probably more fun than regular Artoria because
Yeah.
she has less hang-ups and is a child.
Yeah. Well, she's not a child. She's the same age. I think she seems more childlike simply because she's never had to be the king. And that's probably why Artoria seems
She's
to
more carefree.
Yeah, she's more like a carefree Artoria. I don't think Asclepius would want... I've got Castiq and Asclepius. I don't think he...
Oh, that's Castiq.
Yeah. Right. I know. I feel like I'd maybe put Castiq similar to Q.
Yeah.
For some reason, for like these Rio sprites, Q is the one that has a background, and I couldn't find a background-free version of Q. I think Castiq would be similar to Q, although
He's the one unlucky dude who didn't have a
Yeah.
who didn't have a
transparent background.
background.
So I think Asclepius wouldn't be fun and wouldn't play.
Who the fuck is the Scorpion?
He's the Greek god of medicine. You know the symbol on hospitals? That's the rod of Asclepius.
Oh, That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what he is. But I think that he's too focused on like his work and medical stuff. I think he's kind of like Nightingale. Like he cured death in Greek mythology, and Hades punished him for this. It's like you can't cure death. Death is my domain, sort of thing. Too focused on immortality. Yeah. So yeah, Castoria takes over from Merlin in the timeline that she's in.
Do you think there's an element that he might get interested in the game with the prospect of gaining immortality in the game?
I'm not sure.
Would he enjoy that fantasy, potentially?
It's like, maybe, I mean, like, I guess he could play and maybe he would be a necromancer.
That's why I'm inclined to, like, put him there.
It's like, yeah, maybe put him, like, closer to maybe would play than, like, Nightingale, because, like, you could explore the concept of creating immortality.
Yeah.
God.
Should we grab Mr. America?
Yes, America's persona, Thomas Edison. Here's the thing, I don't think that he'd... I'm not sure, would Edison play? I think he's too busy inventing things and copywriting things.
He is a bit of a dickbag. Copywriting.
Yeah, electricity doesn't exist in this game. So I feel like... I think that he might not be that interested. I think that he wouldn't play and I don't think he'd be very fun.
Should point out, we probably don't need to put him, like, as far as that, because you're putting him next to, like, tier 3 subs right now. We have a weird scale of not fun. Because right now we have, like, we have, like, kind of mildly annoying or disinterested.
Maybe put him next to Salome.
Then we have, like, tier 3 subs.
He'd copyright your campaign.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get to, like, murderers and like, to be honest, these probably, okay.
Yeah.
So
easily the murder hobo is...
a bit over because, yeah.
above the weird Mary Sue Weaves and not as bad as the ERP is.
Yeah.
So yeah, Thomas Edison, he'd try and copyright your campaign. He'd be like an artificer or something, trying to make as many weird magical items as he could.
Yeah.
And you'd just be like, could you please do something that's like more useful?
I think he'd
where is Fran? I don't have Fran Marrow.
He'd look at the opportunity.
Hi Marrow. We're doing this based on servants that I have because it makes it easier for my partner, my boyfriend, because he doesn't play FGO.
It helps a little bit.
I feel that Fran, if I did have her, would probably want to play the game, but like wouldn't be very fun because I'm not sure how like aware of things she is. Like Fran would probably like try and break the table or something. But we put Tom Away up here because we think Tom Away would like to play D&D and would probably really enjoy it.
Are we starting to get through them?
Yeah, I'm starting to get through them. We've got a few left. There's somewhere I'm trying to think.
Should we get the Emperor?
Which Emperor?
Oh no. I meant Julius Caesar. We get Caesar.
Caesar? Okay, there's Caesar. He'd keep giving people file. Yeah, that's what Fran would do in game. Somebody would have to, like, she'd have to have Moriarty or somebody interpreting what she wants to do.
Is this version of Caesar different to the historical?
I guess kinda. I don't think Caesar would want to play Dungeons and Dragons. I think that Caesar is too busy feasting.
Yeah.
He's one of those where I'm like, maybe if I had Cleopatra and she played, she'd want to play if his wife did, but
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like he'd maybe be a bit like...
I think he wouldn't be that far away from Gil.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, I think that he'd be maybe more fun to play with than Gilgamesh.
Actually inclined to just
swap them around. I feel like this is like not something that an Emperor of Rome would do.
Yeah. What is this one? It looks like
Which one?
Like,
this?
No, that.
That's Merlin.
That's Merlin?
That's Merlin. He's been kicked in the face by Foe. A.k.a. Cath Balag, which is a beast from Arthurian legend that fate has turned into a cute mascot and it hates Merlin.
Okay, well...
So, like, right, here's the thing. I think that one problem you'd have with Merlin if you played D&D is because he is, like, the wizard. He would just constantly be complaining about how magic works. And I think he might ERP a bit.
That's where I put him.
Yeah. He
Maybe
seems like a fun, cool guy. He's a bit of a dick, and I think he'd be there like, what do you mean spell components?
I think he'd be annoyed.
Yeah.
And also he'd be annoying. I think he'd love to play when initially presented the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel would only play if women were playing, and he is the dick wizard, yeah.
He would start attaching dicks to every character.
He'd try to ERP, and it's like, Merlin, please don't.
Okay. I'm gonna grab Shakespeare.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Shakespeare would play.
I think he definitely would.
Yeah. I mean, like, in Fate Apocrypha, his whole thing is like, oh, he wishes he was a part of this story. He wants to. And he wrote so many, like, stories that are remembered in history and stuff, and I'm like...
I think he'd be...
Shakespeare would insist on being the DM. I'd play a game DM by Shakespeare.
That's a good point. If I'm supposedly the DM in this context, he'd probably be highly disruptive by being like, my narrative is shit. Put it like there then, because of that. He'd probably be quite inclined to be the DM himself.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's like, whatever, I'd probably play his game, but if it's not the, if it's agreed that somebody else is the DM, he's gonna end up being a dick.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I didn't like studying Shakespeare, but The Tempest is great.
I should be the Tempest.
Yeah. It's not very long, which is part of why I like it. He's the director or an actor, yeah.
Let's grab.
That's Siegfried. Here's the thing, I think that Siegfried would check out the moment you said this game is called Dungeons and Dragons. Because I think he's a little bit sad about the whole Dragon Slayer thing.
Yeah, I'd put him like there.
He's the director, not an actor, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he used to be an actor before he was a writer, but I think in D&D he'd rather be the writer.
I think Sieg would be such a downer.
Yeah, Siegfried.
I mean, I'm just calling him Sieg as like a nickname.
Sieg
I know Sieg also exists. I'm just calling Siegfried as a...
I think that, like, Siegfried would also be a bit like, am I doing this because other people want me to do this, or am I doing this because I want to do this?
God, I hate that guy. Right. Anyway, I spoke to you about this, didn't I? Why I don't like Siegfried.
Yes.
Where is the Angry Mango?
He's there. That's the Angry Mango. Right, I think we've agreed he wouldn't play and he wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically peak.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look at this corner.
Yeah, this is the corner of, like, people who would probably kill you rather than play.
Yeah. It's getting stuffed.
Here's the thing, like, Angry Mango, unlike some of those, would probably understand what you meant when you explained the game, but I feel that
that's a good point.
He'd probably not want to play...
Would he be more inclined to play than the rest?
Maybe he'd be more inclined because he'd understand what you're trying to explain to him.
Definitely wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, he wouldn't be fun. He'd like, murder everybody.
Ultimate murder hobo.
Exactly. He'd murder the party. Let's see. Gotta have a look. We're getting through them.
I can see Achilles is there.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. I think Achilles is in this square somewhere. I think he likes being a hero. You got someone today, very thick one. Who did you get? Is it Himiko?
Okay.
I rolled for Himiko, not yesterday, but I rolled not yesterday, but the day before for Hajime. And I got Himiko before I got NP2 Hajime. Yes, Himiko. Is she good? People say she's good, so I'm like not too disappointed. Himiko, yeah. Would Himiko play D&D? I've only had her for 2 days. Same for Hajime.
Why?
Nobukat.
I just have interest. Why do you think Achilles wouldn't?
Here's the thing. I think Achilles likes being a real hero too much. That he wouldn't get anything out of playing a game where he pretends to be a hero.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So I think that you'd explain it to him, and he's like, why would I do this in a pretend game when I could do this in real life?
But it'd theoretically be quite fun if you played it.
But I think Achilles would be fun for the same reasons that Ku would be fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, I'm the greatest hero of, like, Greek mythology.
I might have put him, like, around there.
He'd play if Atalante does. Yeah, I feel like
Which he's also unlikely to play.
Yeah, they're quite friends. They're good friends. So I feel like, yeah, I think it works to put them in the same category.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they'd both talk to each other about, like, would you want to play this game? People say she's Super Ryan, but with support role too. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't have Super Ryan. He came out after I'd rolled everything I had for Gilgamesh, so I had no quartz left.
Who is this guy with the do?
The do which guy?
And like
Cheng Gong! That's his hack. God damn it, would the Gong play D&D, guys?
What is he?
No
What?
checker. So this is Cheng Gong. He's a budget support servant who works very well with berserkers. He's a bit of a meme because what his noble phantasm does is it fires an arrow at the enemy.
Wait, I think he's showing me that.
Yes, and it like kills like the servant to the left of him.
Right. Okay.
So it's like, would the Gong play D&D? I feel like maybe he wouldn't, or if he did.
He sounds like he's a serious dickbag. He's just like,
Yeah.
I sacrifice the person next to me, lol.
His noble phantasm even says like, this requires a sacrifice, and then the servant just disappears. You only use him with berserkers, which is kind of like what he's designed to support.
Okay.
And because berserkers like,
Would you play that?
I'm like, I don't know if the Gong would play D&D. I think he'd be kind of annoying to play with. Because it's like, oh yeah, I'm willing to sacrifice other people for things.
I might put him around there.
Yeah. So he's not like a Rash who would sacrifice himself to help everybody.
He'd sacrifice somebody else to help
Somebody else to
everyone.
help everybody, exactly.
Oh no.
And I think some people might not like that.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty understandable.
Does anybody else stand out to you immediately?
What is this horse?
This is Red Hair. He is Lubu's horse. I don't think Red Hair would play because Red Hair is a horse. He acts like a horse, although he can speak. He thinks he's Lubu, which is that the guy who's kind of buried by Hezi and Lobo.
Okay.
But that's the thing, yeah. Sethy is saying BB. Would BB play D&D? I don't think BB would let other people dictate what she can and can't do, so I'm like, I don't think...
Is BB on here?
This is BB. No, she's from Fate Extra. I don't like BB. I'm glad she's a welfare.
No, from what you've got, I
BB
think
would've
she'd
been
be like
fun.
one of the worst kind of... Would she like to play?
I
think she'd be one of-
don't... That's the thing. It's like, I don't think BB would want to play someone else's game.
I think she'd be one of the worst
I
kind
think
of players. if she
BB
did.
would be like, I'm the DM, and then she'd be a very sadistic DM.
I think she's probably mildly better than,
Angry Mango.
yeah, psychos who will, like, kill you. Probably.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody who, like, plays Fate Extra more than I do could tell me more about BB, that'd be helpful, but that's where I'm going to put her for now.
There's the penguin girl.
There's the penguin. I also don't think that Meltralis would really play. She's one of BB's alter egos. This is the summer version who dresses like a penguin. She's like a ice water ballet
I
dancer.
didn't really need more than that.
That's Enkidu. That's Gilgamesh's best friend, who probably also wouldn't play.
Yeah.
I think that Enkidu would be like, Gil's not playing, I'm not playing. But also like, I've killed the Bull of Heaven in real life. I don't think this game is gonna be entertaining.
I'm like there.
Yeah. So like, Enkidu might be more fun to play with than Gil.
Yeah, that's why I put him there.
Yeah.
I think he's probably less fun to
Best
play with than
friend.
Yarmood.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like, I think Enkidu was one where it's like, their participation would depend on Gil's, but they'd likely be like,
I
yeah,
think it'd be fun, more fun than basically all of these to the right.
Yeah, I think that Enkidu would be fun for the same reasons Castigal would be fun.
Yeah.
In that it's like, you know, like the whole, oh yeah, we went on adventures and fought monsters before anybody else did.
Let's grab this person.
Oh, that's King Protea. Not King Protea, so that's King Protea, that is Passion Lip. Damn it, sorry, I forget the names of the alter
God, wait, I
egos.
just remember you describing this to me.
They're very masochistic. Oh god, I feel like they might be on the fence, because I feel like Well, first of all, they have giant hands that wouldn't be able to hold dice, and, you know, somebody would have to roll the dice for them.
That's a pretty big problem.
18 plus only. Yeah, exactly. They're too much of, like, a masochist sexually. So I feel that, like, they would also...
sort of ERP
I think,
area.
yeah, I think that, like... I think that Passion Lip would just ERP. I don't think they'd be able to prevent themselves from doing that.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Who is Drill Lancer?
Real answer, this is Fergus. This is Q Cullen's stepdad. Q Cullen's stepdad, Fergus McBroy, would magical realm. Because he's horny as fuck. He just wants to bang every woman that he sees.
Does he just want to drill?
All of the Lizzes next. Okay, I have 2 Lizzes. I have Gundam Liz and regular Liz. Okay.
Let's move on to Liz.
Okay, so Elizabeth Bathory would want to play, but she wouldn't be fun to play with, I don't think. Because I think that Elizabeth Bathory would be like, I'm gonna play a like Dragonborn or a Tiefling Bard that's just a self-insert of her and be as fucking annoying as she is normally. And I don't think that Gundam Liz would want to play because she's a Gundam.
Is she kind of a brainless Gundam?
Not really, but she acts kind of like a machine. This is the Mecha Ellie-chan. And I'm like, I'll leave it up to you to decide would it or would it not be fun to play with Gundam Elizabeth Bathory?
Like, it's kind of strange and novel.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, where would you put the Mary Sue character? That's a version what's been done, yeah.
She goes into the annoying
That's why
sector.
I think she'd be like the annoying,
I think
like
she's less annoying.
Mary Sue Bard.
Yeah, probably around there.
Yeah, like she'd
the annoying circle.
Yeah.
This is the annoying circle. Around there.
Yeah.
I actually think that he'd probably...
Less annoying, yeah. Okay. Trying to have a look at who stands out as who to pick next, if anybody does.
Just like grab someone.
Grab somebody? Okay, I think Besto Friendo Mandracado would play and would be somewhat fun to play with.
Okay.
Here's the thing, he's a bit of a gloomy guy, but he's very happy to be your best friend.
Okay.
So I think that what Mandracado would do is he'd make a character based on like Hector or some hero he looks up to. Be a bit of a wish fulfillment self-insert. Needs some encouraging, but he'd have fun and enjoy himself.
Sure.
It's like, well done, Mandracado, you were useful to the group today, and he'd be like, yes, thank you. Someone is saying Dante's, right. I think Dante's would check out the moment you say Dungeons and Dragons. But I think Dante's might enjoy Call of Cthulhu.
Sure.
Because, like, he's a sailor.
But that's not the question.
And he's a bit of a demon. But I think that Dante's might be like, I don't want to play this game if it has dungeons in it.
I think it's going to be fun, though.
But I think if he did play, he could potentially be quite fun.
I might have put him, like, there.
Yeah.
I think he really doesn't want to play. But
He feels like he'd come up
really
with, like...
fun.
He'd come up with clever solutions to things, it seems.
Yeah.
It's like, if you ever end up in a situation where you are stuck in a dungeon, he'd be the one who would come up with, like, the clever solution to be like, this is how we escape, guys.
Yeah, that makes sense. Who is this lady riding a pig?
This is Cersei.
Oh, okay, I
This
see.
is, the mentor of Medea.
Okay. I mean, kind of think not fun.
I'm like, would she be fun or not? She turned Odysseus' men into pigs.
She likes to turn people into pigs.
Yeah.
It's pretty concerning.
I don't have any version of Ereshkigal, so I couldn't put her in this, I'm afraid. No, I feel like Ereshkigal might be just in Woodplay would be fun, like just in that corner if I did have her.
Yeah, I think...
I have Ryder Ishtar, which I could do next.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Would not be fun, I think. Would she play?
I don't know, it's like, maybe... You thought you saw her? have a few blonde servants, but not Arash. So, yeah, where would Cersei go?
Okay, my personal thought is that she'd be less inclined than Medea, and possibly
second row, far right.
Slightly
Is that Bonnie and,
far.
that's Bonnie and Reed?
like that.
Yeah.
This?
Yeah, somebody said they thought that was Arash Girl. I think Bonnie and Reed would probably play, but not be fun, because I think they'd ERP a bit.
Wait, Bonnie and Reed?
Yeah, they're the famous female pirate couple.
Oh yeah, I remember you describing this.
I feel like they might ERP a bit with each other. Yeah, they'd be trying to steal things from everybody. So I'm like...
Let me put them around there. Maybe around there. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, we're getting down now.
Yeah, we're getting through a bit.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we could also grab the sexy nun.
Oh yeah, Kiara.
Probably in the same, like, you know, magical realm area.
Yeah, I think Kiara would Kiara want to play Dungeons and Dragons? Is what I don't know. 'Cause, like,
More likely than the others.
maybe I cannot play the game that she is in, or I haven't watched enough of the playthrough online of the game she's in. But she'd magical realm and make everyone uncomfortable,
Yeah.
like the other ones that would.
Around there.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Who's this? That's Mephistopheles.
Okay. Like a demon?
Yeah, ERP to the extreme. That's exactly what Kiara would do. So he's I haven't read Faust. I have read Dr. Faustus, which is the play adaptation of Faust. Here's the thing. I feel that Mephistopheles would just be trying to hurt people, and I don't know if like a game where people pretend to be heroes would.
Would he be like, I want to be chaotic evil?
Yeah, I think he'd another name for the devil. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. It's probably.
I think that he'd go with Angry Mango. I think that he'd be.
There's a slight element that he might like to, very situationally, you could have them play like an evil character in an evil game,
Yeah.
and maybe they could be okay in that context.
Okay, so we're narrowing it down some more.
Wait, but would they play though? Wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like I don't think the Mephistopheles or Angry Mango would. I think they're too. I think they enjoy playing with humans too much, like normally. Like they wouldn't want to play a little game that people play. It's like no, I'd rather just play a game with people.
Sure. Okay. Who this?
This is Geronimo. I don't think he'd play D&D because I think he's a bit of a serious guy. And I think he enjoys outdoor stuff too much.
Okay.
Like, I don't think a game where you sit around a table inside would, like, entertain him as much as, like, you know, going outside and doing things.
So
I'm not sure whether or not he'd be fun.
Geronimo, well, I guess they've got. He's kind of got knowledge.
Yeah, Geronimo's a bro. That's the thing, I think the D&D would not interest him. I don't know, maybe he'd be fun.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a cool guy. I'd probably put him around the same place as
Would
William
he be
Tell.
lower and is like less likely to be?
Yeah, less likely. I don't think he'd play D&D, but I think that he would be cool to play with if he did. Estrella is what Sethy is saying next. So, oh god, this is Luvia as a pseudo servant. And I'm like, I don't know if Luvia would play or not. I feel like she'd be the rules lawyer. Like, she'd absolutely be the rules lawyer. She's the goddess of, like, justice.
Okay. I makes me inclined to think that she might play.
Maybe it's like...
She might like to roleplay dishing out justice.
Yeah, she'd be like the ultimate. Astrea and Ishtar in the same game would be fun.
Would it?
Would it though? They'd just be fighting each other in game, and that would just be like unfun for everybody else involved.
Would it be entertaining?
But it'd be entertaining to watch, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like,
Yeah, that's pretty extreme, Holly. Do you think this is?
This is what I'm thinking.
I don't think she's gonna murder people, right?
Yeah, I think she wouldn't. I think she wouldn't be fun because I think she'd be too rules lawyery.
I might put it like there.
But maybe she'd play because she'd be like, "Ah, you are playing a game. You clearly need somebody who can dish out the rules."
Okay, I'm gonna put it there.
Yeah, with that, maybe I should bring up the one version of Ishtar that I have. Where is she? She's on her little travel scooter.
She's there.
She's there, yeah, there she is. My level 40 rider Ishtar who can't go any higher. Bolivian raider rivals for Shiro and Magecraft. Yeah, we've only just seen a Luvia in Almanaraxia. We need to read more of that soon.
We should power through a bit of the
Yeah.
obvious ones.
Okay, so I'm like trying to think, where would Rider Ishtar go?
She's gonna be arrogant, but she's also playful.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to think she would play, but would be annoying.
Yeah. Would you put her the same place that you said you'd put Rin if Rin was a servant? Or Rin was available to be
I think Rin would be more likely to play and less annoying.
Yeah.
So she'd be better. I think she'd go.
So Sethi's agreeing that she'd play and not be fun.
She'd be there.
Yeah.
Like.
Fetrix is raiding!
Oh.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Fetrix! That's 6 people, thank you. How was your stream? Tried to watch you a little bit. Hello Jeeks. I finally hit 40 followers, so I'm doing the tier list that I promised people I would make.
We should show the raiders the title.
This is the alignment pyramid chart that we're making. It was going to be a tier list. Well, it's not an alignment pyramid, it's an alignment chart.
Yes. Which servants would join in for D&D?
I'm here with my boyfriend Jim, who I make videos with on my other channel. Because he runs D&D. 41 followers now, yeah! I got like 1 follower after I hit 40, which was impressive and surprising. Chill and sleepy, yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, same here. Been a tiring week, but at least we all get a long weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. So, which servant should we put in next?
Okay, I want to pull out this guy.
That's Ozymandias, right? Ozymandias would be there with Gilgamesh.
Okay.
He's like Egyptian Gilgamesh. He's also a pompous, arrogant golden king.
Would he be less fun than Gilgamesh?
I don't know. Yeah, actually, I'm like, grab Gil, I'll move... No, actually, I think Gil would be more fun, simply because of the whole, like... So Ozzy was a real king. Gil's the mythological demigod hero king.
Yeah.
So Gil might have, like, be more fun in the fantasy scenarios you'd see in D&D than Ozzy.
Yeah. Okay.
Love that emote. Oh, that's cute.
That is a good emote.
Yeah, I'm currently getting emotes made because I'm like, I'm not very far off.
Okay, I want to pull up Gorgon.
Gorgon, okay, big titty Medusa.
Yes, so...
I would put her with the would kill you.
Yeah, is she in the kind of would kill you kind of category?
Yeah, I think she's in the would kill you.
She'd understand the concept.
She understands the concept.
She's probably similar to Mephistopheles and Agamemnon.
Yeah, she'd probably kill you before playing D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. This is Nursery Rhyme. I think this is one that would be fun and would play.
That's an interesting one.
Because she's like nursery rhymes combined into a person.
Yeah, I think I've spoken a bit about this. So nursery rhyme probably isn't that extreme.
Yeah, because I feel like nursery rhyme would bring a new level of whimsy into it. It's a fantasy game. You play as being a fantasy character.
It's like she'd love to play and probably would be really fun.
Yeah, like maybe she'd play like a really unusual race, like a fairy.
Yeah.
Like she'd be like a fairy wizard or something, or a fairy druid or something fun. And bring a level of like whimsy to the game that would be very enjoyable.
Oh look, it's the Spartan.
It's Leonidas.
It's Leonidas.
Yeah, that is King Leonidas. He even has a voice line where he says, "This is Sparta," but in Japanese.
That's amazing. Okay.
Would spend first session on lore. Yeah, that's exactly what Nursery Rhyme would do.
Yeah. I think Nursery Rhyme would be great. Leonidas?
I don't think he'd play D&D. I think he's too busy physically training and being a Spartan warrior.
And being the Spartan
But
king.
would he be fun to play with?
I think he would.
Yeah.
I think he'd be maybe like slightly less fun than Castigal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be fun. Because he'd be like. I imagine him playing a berserker as well and be like, I will be buff.
You mean a barbarian?
Yes.
Yeah. Not be like, I confuse barbarian and I recuse.
It's because we're talking about fate.
I confuse berserker and barbarian in D&D all the time too.
Yes.
Madness, this is Sparta.
What is his us?
He's a lancer
Okay.
because
Right.
he has a big spear. He's a taunt.
He gets given berserker madness, and then he gets rid of it by yelling, "This is Sparta."
Okay, so who else stands out?
Who is this guy doing the sunbro pose?
The Sunbro pose?
Put blue hair guy.
That's Hans. I'm like, would Hans play? Hans Christian Andersen, the guy who wrote fairy tales, but
Oh.
he's an adult man, a jaded adult man who's been forced into the body of a child because he was associated with writing fairy stories.
Okay, I think would
Yeah,
be
Leonidas
fun.
has one of the best scenes in Babylonia.
Sounds like would be fun. Probably very knowledgeable, very good in fantasy context, right?
Yeah. He'd be the same as Shakespeare, yes. Like, yeah, they're bros, and I'm like, yeah, I think that need to put him there because so he's visible.
Would he be more fun than Shakespeare?
Would he be more fun than Shakespeare? I don't know.
think that maybe he'd be better for
Maybe
fantasy.
I'll move Jason down. I'm gonna try and grab Hans.
That's the problem when you place them.
There you are, Hans, right. So yeah, Shakespeare.
Okay.
Yeah, move everybody over. I think Shakespeare would be less fun to play with. Hans might be marginally more fun to play with. No Little Mermaid 2, though. I mean, how could you write Little Mermaid 2 when she literally dies at the end?
That does seem impossible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, I think Hans would be more fun than Shakespeare, but in the same situation where he's like, I would like to write the story.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, give me the Sunbro. What's
Sunbro,
happening?
this is Roma! This is Romulus, aka Roma, because he just shouts about how much he loves Rome.
Okay.
Remember the end of the summer event? Yeah, little Kiara was very sad. Yeah, exactly, Rome! I don't think he'd be very fun, because...
Just not going on about Rome randomly in the game?
Yeah, exactly. I think he's one of those where he'd be like, you wouldn't want to play, wouldn't be fun to play with, because he has an obsession with, like, one thing.
Okay, I'm just gonna put
And
it
he'd
there.
kind of just be, like, annoying. It's like, no, this Rome is not in this game. Stop shouting about Rome,
I've
please.
never actually seen, like, a Romanesque style RPG.
Yeah.
But that could be fun, I guess, perhaps?
Yeah. Big Kiara cursed his name, yeah.
Cursed of his name. Who's Baldy?
Baldy, this is Hozoan Inshin.
Okay.
I don't think he'd play. He's like a Buddhist Japanese monk. He fights with a spear. He's one of those characters that people tend to forget is in the game.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know if I feel like maybe he wouldn't play. Like, I think he might be too dedicated to what he currently does.
Would he be fun?
That's the thing. I don't know whether or not he'd be fun.
I mean, I suppose would he have the wisdom associated with?
Yeah, I think so.
Very, very
he's
serious.
Serious.
Yeah, we've got a kind of serious corner
I'll
here.
put him with Jin K in the too serious category.
Maybe slightly to the left.
I'm actually going to move Enkidu over a bit
Yeah.
to the left. Yeah. Okay. This is Helena Blavatsky.
Okay.
She's a character. So she's a Russian occultist. She rides on a UFO, and she was searching for like Agatha in Lemuria, and so Columbus next. Yeah, we'll do Helena first.
This character sounds like they love.
You have seen Wendigoon's conspiracy theory iceberg.
Yeah.
So you've heard things that she has
Okay, but listen,
researched.
this character sounds off the top like they'd love playing like Delta Green and Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
But I mean, D&D, they could take the investigator sort of role and enjoy the game in that context.
Yeah.
Is it like they're kind of all about mysteries?
Yeah, she was an actual occultist, so like Hollow Earth and I forget what Lemuria is. It's the civilization that's been buried by the sea. Those are whole things that she's involved in, and other occultism stuff like that.
Okay.
And then she rides on a UFO, which I think is funny. I don't know if she had any association with ancient aliens, but she would absolutely run the History Channel, goddammit.
Okay, she sounds kind of nutso, but I'd maybe put it like
She's
there.
a granny, yeah, she's like old.
Maybe put it like there.
Yeah.
Like she'd play if she got to play investigator role and the DM was had a lot of like mystery in the lore that
Yeah.
she was like she could get interested in and try and resolve. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so we're saying Columbus next. Oh my god, I think that... Would Columbus want to play D&D? Because I don't think he'd be fun to play with.
Would he probably enjoy a seafaring adventure?
Maybe if you ran... God, what is the pirate one called?
Saltmarsh.
Saltmarsh, yeah. Something like that, where you're seafaring.
Or if you were running fucking Spelljammer.
Yeah, Spelljammer, where it's in space.
Yeah.
But like, I think that like he wouldn't be very fun because like you'd come into a new place and he would immediately want to be like, right, I'm going to colonize this place, take over the locals, and steal all of their valuables.
Let me give out some blankets. Not the kind of guy here.
It would just be like, and then everybody else would be like, Columbus, no.
Columbus, why are you being such an asshole?
Yeah, it's like Columbus. Why
Okay,
are
I
you
feel
being
like
a
he's in
dick?
the same kind of category as this guy.
Yeah, I think he'd be worse to play with than Izzo. Because I think Izzo would at least be kind of fun, but Columbus wouldn't. Like, I think Columbus would just make everybody, like, you're really making everybody uncomfortable with what you're trying to get us all to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's this guy with the balls?
Which guy? This is Sherlock Holmes, who I think wouldn't enjoy Dungeons and Dragons.
What are the balls?
They're like magnifying glasses that come off him.
Oh.
He has lots of lenses.
That almost looks like a joke. Okay.
Yeah.
But these are like jokey versions of the characters, I guess, so okay.
To some extent, I guess. Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. I don't think he would enjoy any real TTRPG.
No, do you know why he wouldn't enjoy it?
Like, you'd try and present a plot hook and he'd immediately know what you were trying to do.
Do you know why he would? Yes.
And then he'd explain it to everybody very obviously. Without even, like, you'd be like, you're metagaming, you need to roll a perception check or roll an intelligence check. And he's like, why would I need to do that? It's very clear what you're going to do.
Yeah. But then you'd say, well, your character would know this. And then he'd go,
why would my character not know this?
why would my character not see the obvious? Elementary.
Elementary, my dear, which is his noble fantasy.
So yeah, he'd quickly not have fun himself, and he wouldn't be fun himself.
Yeah, it's like he'd ruin all the things that you wanted your players to like figure
I put
out.
him like right there. He's like,
Yeah.
I realize I'm putting him like less fun and less likely to play than fucking Spartacus. But I think that's accurate.
I think Spartacus would at least make you
Well-
laugh, whereas Holmes would just kind of make everyone go, oh.
I think he'd play for like a minute or two and then realize, and then it would be very evident that this is not a game for him.
Yeah.
No.
Even if you tried to run something like Call of Cthulhu, he'd immediately know what you were doing.
Yeah, he'd immediately know where this was heading.
Yeah. Okay, who next?
What's this like cybernetic person?
Which
at the end?
person? This guy?
Yeah.
That's Sigurd. And if we're going to talk about Sigurd, we have to talk about him and Brynhilde as a couple, because they're married.
Okay.
They are really, like, next together as Bradamante and the Valkyrie. I don't have Bradamante, but do you mean Bryn? Because I also have the Valkyrie. I'll put Valkyrie there to talk about them next, because I think that, like, right, Sigurd and Bryn, they are, like, very dedicated married couple.
Okay.
So I think that, like, they'd either both play or both not play, and the Valkyries would do whatever Brynn is doing.
Okay.
Yeah, you meant Brynhilde, yeah. Because she's the, like, Queen of Valkyries.
Sure. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
So it's like...
talk to me.
Yeah, so
Talk to me about what they like.
this is what I'm trying to think, because I'm like, what do Brynn and Sigurd like that isn't each other? Because they do appear in the summer event, and they seem to be like, oh, we're having a nice time camping together.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the unofficial children of, like, Sigurd and Brynhilde.
Okay, well.
So that's the thing, is like, I feel like you say, hey, it's a game where you, like, fight. It's a game called Dungeons and Dragons. You pretend to be a hero when you fight monsters, and Sigurd might find that appealing because he's killed a dragon. Family night in playing D&D. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like. Like, I feel that, like, Sigurd and Brynn might be like, oh, this sounds like a fun activity that we can do together.
Can you tell me if they have...
And then the
is there any
kids will be
annoying
like, yeah.
personalities here or anything?
Annoying person. So the Valkyries are sort of artificially created, so they do act a bit robotically, but they are trying to, like, learn human behavior and human emotion by playing dating sim games.
Okay, bit strange.
Which is the thing, and it's like, Sigurd and Brynn, they really love each other, although in Legend she kills him, so sometimes she does kill him, but he's able to survive it.
That's a
And
big
I'm like,
concern.
it's like, yeah, it's kind of like, what do these two like each other? So yeah, it's like, they level 3, like, tier 3 sub for each other, like, really hard.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, I think that these guys would be like, yeah, we're gonna play game as a family activity.
I think that the Valkyries sound like they'd be less fun than
Yeah,
these two.
I feel like the Valkyries they'd probably all play one character as 3 people.
Oh god.
It's like the 3 of them would be like, what should we make the character do? Maybe this.
I'm not gonna lie.
Or something.
I'm not gonna lie, I kinda hate that. I kinda hate it when people, like, come together to play the same character.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some people do it as, like, a new player thing, if it's, like, a pre-made character.
I guess I kinda get it, but I don't know, it's a bit of a pet peeve for me at this point. What is this?
This is Antonio Salieri. He's the guy that... He allegedly killed Mozart, but it's very unlikely that he actually did. He's an Avenger, and here's the thing, I think Salieri wouldn't, because he kind of has Avenger rage that sort of comes on very suddenly.
Yeah, sure.
If that makes sense. So I think that, like, even if you were trying to play something maybe more like Call of Cthulhu that's more realistic, he'd still break out into Berserker, well, Avenger rage every so often. It would just be like, please stop.
This corner is too full!
Please stop talking about how you want to kill Mozart. I'd maybe put him in the spot between Caesar and Zhang Yu.
Well, like here.
Yeah, I'd maybe put him there. Okay.
I've had a lot of characters that are trash!
Yeah, a lot of people that wouldn't be fun and wouldn't play. Who next?
Who is that last one?
Which one? This one?
You got a look that says I need to drink a coffee.
This is Saito Hajime. Like I said, I literally only got him 2 days ago. I haven't played enough of the event to know whether or not I think he'd play D&D, but I'd put him next to the other Shinsengumi commander. Yeah, people say he looks like Virgil from Devil May Cry.
Ah, I see. So he saves you from magical realms.
He is the storm that is approaching.
Yeah.
I put him next to Hijikata because I'm like, I don't know, I feel like these guys, like Shinsengumi, they're samurai policemen. And his NP. I haven't actually seen his NP yet. I don't have enough proofs to level him past, like, 2nd Ascension yet. But yeah, I feel like these guys may be a bit too serious to enjoy a fantasy game.
Well, we have this Oni.
This is Caster Shootin' Doji. I don't think Caster Shootin' would play. Like, she's kind of like a magical girl. She's shooting Doji, pretending to be a magical girl.
Oh. Well,
and she's also, like, she's shooting Doji.
Sounds kind of fun, maybe.
Yeah. She's one of those where it's like, would Shootin' try to murder you? I feel like maybe she would. Cast a version might, but she runs a theme park. So I'd maybe put her in, like, would play Just. Yeah, she runs Oniland, or she's in Oniland, the event.
Wait, what? That's not the wood play.
Okay, yeah.
That's the wood.
Would play. I don't know how fun she'd be though, which is the thing. She's like kind of trying to be a magical girl, but she's still also an Oni, and she's shooting Doji, who likes to kill people horribly. So they're like
pretty bad. She goes like.
I'd maybe. Where did we put Ibaraki? We put Ibaraki as wouldn't play, so I'd maybe put her there.
Ibaraki, where's it?
Like I feel like yeah, she's like maybe more fun. She'd play like. I mean, not warlocks, just magical girls, but demons.
Pretty much.
Yeah, she'd play something like that.
Where's Ibaraki?
The Ibarakis are there because she likes. We said she'd be too distracted by sweets and things.
Is she? But she's like, wanting to kill people is not very fun.
Yeah, like I'd maybe put her lower. Like I'd maybe be like she's more likely to play than regular shooting would.
What, you put her like?
I'd put her maybe on the line above the Ibarakis.
But she's way less fun than that. She wants to kill people.
Yeah,
That's not
it's
good.
one of those things. Where I feel like regular shooting likes to kill people, so it's like yeah, I feel like Oni Cure might still be like I'm still an Oni. It's like please stop describing what you're going to do to this person's guts.
Very concerning.
Okay, this is Mozart.
Oh, the guy that is murdered by the other guy.
Allegedly, but probably not really. One thing that's interesting with Mozart and also Marie Antoinette is so recently this year there was a board game themed event, and there was a part of the game that was just like Town of Salem, but in a haunted house, and Mozart and Marie were in the Town of Salem game, and I'm just there like, see, I feel like I don't know if these guys would play D&D, but maybe like because of being in that event they'd play something like Call of Cthulhu or.
They play werewolf.
Yeah, or werewolf, exactly. The game is called Werewolves in the Haunted House. And I was playing it like this is just Town of Salem.
I'd be inclined to think Mozart would be fun to play.
Yeah, I don't think he'd play D&D, but I think he might be fun. He does seem like a fun character.
I'm like
Maybe on the line?
that.
Had Marie Alter in the event as well, yes. People seem to want Marie
Would he
as a
maybe go
as a character.
like that?
I want the werewolf costume for Mozart to be a thing that I can unlock for him in game. This thing, I feel like Marie would go with Mozart. They're quite close. She's quite fun and playful, but I don't know if this sort of game would excite Marie Antoinette.
Maybe she'd be more interested.
Maybe more inclined, but yeah, it's like she's very, I guess, high society. She likes to ride her horse.
Okay. Who is this Smogger?
This is Himiko, another servant I've had for 2 days.
Okay. What is Himiko?
Himiko fans. Would Himiko play D&D? Because I kind of feel like maybe she wouldn't want to play. She's too busy being like this divine queen of Yamataikoku. Himiko. Yes. Would she want to play a tabletop game where people pretend to be heroes?
Himmy, can't you see? I just want you to play D&D.
I kind of feel like she would be fun, but I don't think she'd play.
Okay. I'm going to take your word on that.
Maybe a bit more?
Okay.
You think she would? Okay. How fun do you think she'd be to play with? Because she seems like quite a fun character. She's known for being very strong and her people love her. Shall I put her... Don't use Sigurd there. Should I put her there? Where she's kind of like just in that she would and would be fun. Because I could see her being fun. She seems like a fun character.
Is this another Irish boy?
Seems a sweet character, middle ground. Yeah, I like that. Okay. This is another coup.
Okay.
This is coup prototype. So this is the version of coup that was going to be used in Stay Night before they went for regular coup.
Wait, the one who likes to get naked?
No. Here's the thing, it's like, despite how Celts would have been naked Normally, Fate doesn't depict them as being naked. I'm pretty sure they know they can't get away with that, which is why they
Wait.
put them in the bodysuit.
Wait a minute. Why not?
Yeah, it's
Fate
young
was
Q.
an arrow gay anyway. What's the point?
Oh my god, just like make Fate actually sexy and just have Q Cullen butt ass naked the whole time.
Wait, so okay, never mind.
Make
How is Prototype different?
this Prototype, yeah, he's in Fate Prototype, that's what he is. I'm not sure, he's Q but younger. So I'm like, maybe younger Q would be more inclined to play, but at the same time it kind of feels like Q's always been a hero his whole life.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'm like, let's get it. Like, I feel like Q's the kind of guy who's like, no, I'd rather play curling and hunting and be a Celtic hero. Whatever this game with dice is.
Okay, sure.
Could you imagine explaining armor class to the Celtic servants?
Who's the lady with the big spear?
This is not a lady. This is Finn McCool.
Okay.
He's a dude. He's another famous Celtic hero.
Okay.
He's got long fair hair, and I'm like, here's the thing. It's like I really don't know if I don't think he would. Would depend if Skahak forced him to play. I feel like that would apply for like all of the Celts. I don't have a Skahak, and I'm like, would Skahak even play D&D?
Okay.
I'm inclined to put Finn around Q, because it's like, yeah, he's the guy that is Diarmuid's king.
Okay. Wait, is it more likely to play than Ku?
Finn was Diarmuid's general king, yes, I think. But I feel like, I don't know if he's more inclined to play than Q. I think I'd put all of the Celtic heroes in the category of probably wouldn't play but would be very fun.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah.
Who is this?
This is Hector of Troy. This is Paris's big brother.
Right.
And, like, he's the... So Mandracado, this guy, he's a distant relative of him.
Okay.
He's from the Matter of France. But his sword is Durandal, and, like, he's trying to obtain that sword. Sort of thing. I think he also ordered Diarmuid's death. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did, because, like, Diarmuid fucked his wife. I can see why he'd want that guy dead.
It was just an accident, bro.
Yeah, he couldn't help wanting to bang your wife.
I couldn't help that my dick went into your wife. Sorry.
Sorry that your wife thinks I'm sexy. It's this face moment. So yeah, I'm like, would Hector seems like a bit of an older guy. He's Paris's big bro, so it was like maybe he'd play if his little brother made him play.
Maybe I'm inclined to think he maybe wouldn't be that fun. He's gonna be like a he's like a general.
That's what he's talking about. He's talking about Finn being a general, king general. So maybe Finn would be less fun than Q.
Yeah, but I meant Hector.
Hector, yeah. Is Hector like a king or
he's
general?
Just a general, isn't he?
I'm trying to think what Hector does.
Really?
I'm not sure. I feel like I'd maybe put him.
He is like a ruler kind of person.
I'm inclined to maybe put Hector like. Because that's the thing, it's like I think that his brother might be like, come play with this game with me, bro. And he'd maybe not want to. So yeah, saying Hector was a general. So maybe he wouldn't play, but
He'd be less inclined to play.
yeah, less inclined to play than Paris.
Gonna move
With him so we can see what's underneath him.
Mr. Stretchy Boy.
Long boy.
Mr. Slender Man. Should make it a meme whenever he shows up, your screen goes fuzzy.
Long man.
Let's get this person here.
Okay, this one, Lakshmi Bai. Okay. Would Lakshmi Bai play? Because here's the thing, Lakshmi Bai, she's combined with the goddess of bad luck, which is Lakshmi. So here's the thing, I don't think she'd play, because I think that like she'd just have terrible dice rolls from the get-go and would just be very disheartened by that. And like bad things would end up happening to the party because of her, so I think she'd be a bit like, oh, I'm disappointed. You're saying Hector was a prince and a great warrior. Okay.
Yeah,
I have a copy of the Odyssey to read.
That's right.
I haven't read the Iliad. I've put everything I'm reading on hold to read The Count of Monte Cristo, and it's huge. Yeah.
Wait, she's from the era that wouldn't accept Western stuff?
Yeah, she's a leader of the Indian Rebellion. And she really doesn't like the English. So I think she wouldn't play, and she wouldn't be fun to play with, because her bad luck would make her, like, disheartened. It would also affect everybody else.
I think she'd be in that kind of area.
Yeah.
She'd be pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like... Okay, so who next? We're down
Probably
to...
be less fun than that, but I'm like, where do I even fit her?
Yeah, maybe...
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm feeling more inclined to move some of these over, like I'd probably put Babbage and Avisobron over a bit more.
Is it? Is this?
This is Gilderay Faber.
It's Gilderay again.
Right, I think that he'd be like... I think he'd be a bit...
He's slightly less
magical realmy than Caster Gilderay. You'd think it'd be fun if you had Calamity Jane in the same game. Yeah, I think Calamity Jane would be very fun. She's like everybody's cheerleader.
Maybe we can just move on now.
Okay.
Let's grab...
That's Boudica.
Boudica.
And I'm like...
Boudica.
Yeah.
I think Boudica would probably be fun.
But would she play? Jules Saber right to the middle based on his info on the loading screen. Boudica, yeah.
I think...
Well, she's still wearing more clothes than what would be historically accurate, so...
True. I think she'd be around this kind of area.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe would she play?
Would Boudica play? She's a bit mumsy.
Yeah. Maybe she'd play, like, kind of a mild interest.
Maybe. Like, she'd be the party mum.
Yeah. Well, being party mum's good.
Do you think she'd play a barbarian?
To a limited extent, being party mum barbarian is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed my phone is ringing. Who is this?
As long as there's no Romans involved,
This
yeah.
girl is large.
This is Utsumiya Reese. Oh god, this is the main protagonist of Fate Requiem. And Fate Requiem event was the board game event, so she's a welfare from a board game event, so I think she'd play.
Sure.
Would she be fun to play with people who know more about her than I do?
So...
Because I don't know a lot about her, I also don't really use her.
Should we just sort of put her, like, there?
Maybe, yeah, I think she would play... I'll put her just into would be fun to play with.
Yeah.
I mean, if there are any Requiem fans out there who can test this, please let me know. You probably know more than I do.
Let's go with Quetzalcoatl.
Kets would be really fun. Yeah. I feel like Kets might be, like, inclined to play.
Yeah.
Because, like, she loves lucha wrestling.
Okay.
She's kind of like everybody's big sister.
Okay. We'll put her, like,
So
here.
I feel like if you let her play a character that could, like, grapple people,
Ooh. Okay.
she might be very fun to play
We
with.
can play a barbarian and get tavern roller.
Yeah.
Just be throwing people around a lot.
Yeah, I think Kets would play that. She'd play that very fun.
How about this?
This is Hokusai Saber. So this is Summer Hokusai. Hokusai's a bit weird lore-wise, so this is Katsushika Hokusai, the ukiyo-e artist, combined with Cthulhu, but the servant you see there is his daughter. Hokusai has been reduced down to the squid that is her pet, which confused me, and I think she would play, and I think she'd be quite fun, because from the summer event she's talked about how she wants to be a painter, sword fighter, fairy. And I think that in D&D, you can be that.
Yeah?
And she's very enthusiastic about being a swimsuit sword master, so it's like, yeah, I think she'd play that, and she'd like that. Like, I mean, we have a friend playing a fairy in a campaign.
Yeah, we do.
Be like a fairy fighter, but then like
So we have
painting tools or
the
something.
pirate captain.
Francis Drake. Would Drake play D&D? I think Drake would absolutely be very fun.
Maybe yes,
Maybe?
because you gotta think, like, loving treasure looting and
Yeah, it's like it's a game where you get to pretend to like get treasure. You know,
maybe there's a certain amount of arrogance to this character.
yeah, I feel like she'd probably play if you let her have a few drinks, she'd probably play.
Around there. We're on the last line.
Yeah, we're down to the last line of servants. So this is Benkei. I'm gonna get Ushiwakamaru because he's kind of like her friend, underling sort of relationship.
Okay.
So these are two where I think that like Benkei is a very serious guy. So I feel like he wouldn't play and probably wouldn't be very fun.
Okay. Maybe he goes.
Yeah, I'd put him with Jinkei.
Yeah, around there.
Jinkei and Inshin, where I don't think he'd be very fun.
Yeah. Okay.
He's her retainer, yeah, exactly. It's like it kind of seems like I'd maybe put them like this, and that I think they wouldn't play because they like Summer Ushiwakamaru would probably be more likely to play, but she tends to prefer like outdoor active activities. Sort of thing. So I'd maybe put these two like this, and the Ushi, like everybody loves Ushi, so I think Ushi would be more fun to play with than Benkei. But like they don't, there are two that I think would only play or not play depending on what the other one said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's this lady holding a cross?
Which one? This is Saint Martha. She has the Tarask as her pet. She, in the Bible, defeated the Tarask.
Okay. That was an interesting story.
That's why that's a monster in D&D, so it's like...
I think maybe wouldn't play? Because demons are in the game, Molly.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like Martha might buy into the whole satanic panic thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah, she's too religious that she'd be like, this game encourages Satanism.
Weirdly, I think if you did get her to play, she might actually be quite fun.
Yeah, she'd be the cleric that tames the Tarask.
Yeah.
In game, and everyone would be like, how the fuck do you beat the Tarask? It's like...
How the fuck did you do this?
She's the one person who's ever been able to do it. Okay, we're down to the last line.
Just go in order, just go.
Okay, so this is Nagao Kagetora. She's a Gouda character. I think
her cheese.
I think she'd play and would be fun. Yeah, you think there? She's very fun, very enthusiastic. All the Gouda characters are a bit silly, it seems. So I feel like she'd like to play and have a good time. Depends on her mood, though. Yeah, like I think if she was in a good, happy mood, she'd play with you.
Okay. I think if the character can be moody, it can be. That's a bit of a concern.
Yeah, maybe make her less fun. She's a war god. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she's combined with Bishop Mompton, who is a war god.
I might put her in that space between Artoria and Chiron.
That space, yeah. Does everybody agree that's probably where she should go? Neza. Neza. She's very robotic. This is Crown Prince Neza. This is a figure from Buddhist mythology, I think.
Right.
But this version of her is a robot. So this is why I'm thinking that I think maybe she wouldn't be very fun or wouldn't play because she's like kind of robotic.
Okay, sure.
I'd maybe put her close to Gundam Liz.
Sure, she's kind of a strange, curiosity kind of character.
Yeah, like she might think like this seems interesting. I will try and play the game. This is Summer Yume Ren. This is the summer version of the immortal vampire who is married to the horse centaur.
Right.
Yang has been buried all the way down there above red hair.
Yeah.
If her beloved told her to play, she would. Yeah, that's the thing. Because we we put him all the way down here, I'm inclined to put her like with him.
That's area.
This area is
very
getting
full.
so covered. But if she lost, she'd blow herself up. Yeah, exactly. Like she'd get like a really bad roll and blow herself up.
Blow herself up.
Yeah, she can kind of like, she's an immortal vampire. She can kind of like explode herself.
That is so
and, like,
extreme.
come back. So it's like, you know, I feel like, you know.
So wait, she's more likely to play, probably, but not very fun because she's gonna blow herself up.
Yeah, it's like maybe she. I'd put her just above her husband.
Just
But
fucking space.
yeah, maybe in that little gap there.
Look at her shades, right?
Yeah,
So this is the shades of a woman smelling horse blood.
yeah.
Right, she goes right
We'll
there.
put her between her horse husband and the other horse.
Yeah. Okay.
Because she loves horse. Okay, this is Child Alexander the Great. So I think Child Alexander the Great would play, but
Maybe more fun than.
yeah, I think maybe Child Alexander would be more fun to play with because he's like not quite. No, he's not a king of conquerors yet, or he hasn't done all of his military conquering.
He doesn't have all the
So he
arrogance.
might, yeah. So he might be more inclined to like think less like a conquering king and more like I'm gonna have fun and play a heroic
He's
character.
still going to be somewhat arrogant.
Somewhat arrogant, yeah. So maybe put him next to Kid Gil.
Yeah, it probably goes around there.
Yeah.
That kind of space.
You May Red is one of your favorite characters, yeah. I saw you rolled her from the was it So Many Downloads campaign, madam. I'm glad you got her. Always happy when other people get the servants they really want.
Who dis?
This is Bartholomew Roberts. He's another pirate. He's a very accomplished, like, gentlemanly pirate.
Okay.
He has a weird obsession with, like, men and women who have, like, their hair partially covered. Like, sorry, their hair partially covering their face.
Okay.
Basically, if you've got, like, a side fringe or, like, a partially face covering fringe.
Seems oddly specific.
Yeah, he has a very oddly specific fetish that he kind of likes to. He gets creepy whenever he's around a character with that thing. So I'm there like, maybe he'd play. He'll steal your booty and maybe your wife, yeah. See, I feel like he'd ERP at least a little bit. But maybe not like actually properly ERP, it's just that like, maybe
Would he be flirtatious?
flirtatious.
So that's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. I feel like maybe he'd make a character and when he describes them, like their hair is partially covering their face mysteriously. Which people might find a bit weirdly obsessive, but it's like...
I might have something around
Like, would he...
there. Maybe mess about less annoying than that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, it's like, I feel like he wouldn't be as bad as, like, so many other characters, but I think he'd be weird enough that other people might be a bit like, please stop mentioning this specific thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're down to...
Who dis?
That is the Dioscuri twins, who wouldn't play and wouldn't be fun, because they kind of hate humans.
There's no fucking room.
Yeah, but they can go there. They're kind of like... So they're like children of Zeus who were gods, but then lost their divinity. So they're kind of like, we hate humans, so they wouldn't want to play your game. And put them around Gil. Very bottom right corner, I think. There. So I'll put them, I guess, there, because that's where there's a space.
They're gonna have to get in line.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get in line. Where would St. George go? I feel like St. George might want to play. It's like, hey, there are dragons in this game. It's like, oh, I do love to photograph dragons, and I am the most famous British dragon killer, although he's Turkish. So I'm like, why is he our saint? Why does Britain have a day where we celebrate the bronze servant?
Seems strange.
Yeah. Maybe he'd go there?
Probably would play.
Yeah, I feel like he'd play. St. Patrick isn't Irish either, yeah. God damn it, yeah. Ireland, you should celebrate Coup, and we should celebrate Artoria.
I'm gonna put him in
I don't know who chooses
similar
the
kind of
patron saint.
area as Artoria.
Yeah, maybe the same place.
Yeah. Look at the only bit of Summer Artoria that's showing is her butt.
Okay, so this is the Prince of Ladling. Okay, Saber Lily next. Yeah, well, she's in line next. So, Prince of Ladling, very pretty boy. He's kind of like Diarmuid in that, like, his face is apparently so beautiful that he has to hide it with a mask, and everyone's distracted by how beautiful he is. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Ladling might just go there.
Yeah.
It seems like a nice guy who's like nice to be around. I don't know how fun D&D would be to him, but I feel like I don't know why. I don't see any reason why he'd say no.
He'd like maybe entertain her.
Landling would if you may Ren did, yeah, because he's kind of her servant in that Lost Belt.
Okay.
But then he seems like a nice guy. So Saber Lily again, I'd put her in the Artoria cluster, but closer to Castoria maybe.
So around
Like there. Like he fancies her as well, yeah.
Okay.
So I think Saber Lily, because she is Saber with the younger mentality, would also be like, I'll play this game where I can pretend to be a hero.
Okay. Well, let's just grab this guts rip off.
This is Diarmuid, Saber.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Saber. Okay.
So this is like the Diarmuid who is not sorry that he banged your wife.
Base.
He doesn't even need his little baseball to bang your wife.
Playing in this corner.
He probably wouldn't play, but he would be fun.
That's just so base. That's so much more base than regular Darmus.
He's just playing like a sort of barbarian multi-class.
Yes, I fucked your wife. What of it?
Finally, it's Rama. Oh, I like Rama. He tier 3 subs for his wife, who isn't in the game and he can't be with her, so he's a little bit sad that he doesn't have Sita. He's the Indian hero, the Ramayana. And I'm like, would Rama play? I feel like he's one of those where I can't see any reason why he'd say no.
I can think of some reason.
What?
That he's Indian. Might be less inclined towards Western fantasy.
Yeah, but then we've put a load of like non-English Western characters up there as well.
Yeah, but specifically like Indian.
You think? Well, he's before Lakshmi Bai's time.
That's the point. If he's kind of before, maybe he's not.
Like she has a reason to dislike the West.
Yeah,
I don't think
whereas
he
he
does.
doesn't really. Okay.
And it's a thing that she actually brings up, whereas he doesn't. So that's why I kind of feel like maybe I'd put him around there.
Yeah.
In that, like, you know, I can't see any reason why Rama would say no.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
That's the thing. It's like I feel the only issue with Rama is he might bring up his wife a bit, but
I'm just gonna say, if any of them immediately stand out and make you go, actually, we should probably move them.
I don't know. Not that I can think. Does anybody else see anybody who they think should be in a different place?
We will call it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll find somebody on to see who we can raid. But thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. This was a bit of an odd stream to do.
Yes. It's been interesting.
These are the people who are currently on.
I mean, I think you should choose.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna raid the person who's currently listed as being my most recent follower.
Yeah. Cool.
Because she's playing FGO right now.
Ah, cool.
How's the event going? The event is going quite nicely. I've been farming what I can. Yeah, good is always a good time. Yeah, let's go say hi to Anaya. She's also quite new, so give her lots of love. I'll see you all soon. Thank you for 40 followers.